Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
We're here to cover the best and worst of AEW for the last week and our upcoming All In pay per view, which is going to be the focus of a lot
Yeah.
of this episode.
Yeah. The thing about it is that now that we've switched to doing Call in the Ring for Sunday pay-per-views as the Call in the Ring segment, the review of the pay-per-view, and doing that on Monday and posting it Tuesday instead of recording Sunday and doing it Monday, posting it Monday. Um, we're going to talk about All In a lot today.
Yeah.
Because without the benefit of having the go home shows behind us. So we're gonna kind of have to guess on certain things. I imagine you would have to think.
Oh, well, I mean, tell me there isn't loads of speculation going into this show.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
Oh,
got to
my
be at
God.
least one or two more last minute matches, even if they're just going on the pre show
Yeah.
to add.
Uh,
Like somebody
yeah.
brought up Big Boom AJ. Like this is the
Mhm.
kind of show that they would want to put him on the pre-show on, that kind of thing.
They just did a Rebel Ice Bucket Challenge this morning. I saw it on social media today.
Mm.
So they're popping their head back up with AEW stuff, and they were promoting the T-shirt.
Yeah,
So I
you could put
mean,
him in the gauntlet. I think you get a nice little pop in the gauntlet.
yeah, you can put him in the gun. I mean, okay, because Shane Taylor Promotions is obviously going to be involved in this trios thing that we'll talk about here in a
Yeah.
little bit. So I'm definitely not getting Shane Taylor pie facing the Rizzler, which is very upsetting to me because that's why I'm a Shane Taylor fan. Um, but I mean, if I'm looking at people who need a match and it would probably be entertaining because they are proficient wrestlers as well as good comedy guys, give me Juice and Ace Austin versus Big Boom AJ and
QT.
QT
Like it would have to
Marshall.
be QT, but
Yeah,
like they're
make
not
it
going to do
QT.
babyface versus
Well, no.
babyface.
Play QT and Rizzler as the heels. I know Juice would come up with something hilarious for Rizzler. Juice could probably do something funny with the kid, like maybe they tell the kid, hey, you got to spear Ace Austin, and Ace Austin has such big quads that he just completely no sells the spear. He's like, bro, I'm not a little guy, and I'm not fucking Carly Bravo, bro. Okay, like you can't
Yeah.
just spear me. Okay,
Well, I
like,
mean, the thing
I'm a
is,
man.
they're gonna want to put Big Boom AJ on the babyface team.
That's true. I
That's
don't
the
know.
thing.
I'm just thinking of people who aren't exactly
See, my
involved yet. Because we don't
we'll
have
talk about this
confirmation those
later.
guys are going to be in the
We
gauntlet.
we'll talk about this at the end of the
Yeah,
show.
that's true. That's true. There's a lot of
Because I have ideas. I have a couple
yeah. I
just
have a
bouncing
few.
around.
Oh God, I
You
got a
know,
few. I've probably been very public with them on Blue Sky already, but I do have a few. Um, but for the news of the week, we will get to all of the AEW possible people who are going to show up at All In rumors that have been floating around all week, including very recent firings from WWE.
mm-hmm.
All of that will be done on Call of the Ring. The Call of the Ring is all about All In and our predictions, and there is definitely going to be a section of like who do you think is going to show up, what other matches do we think we're going to have. We have a lot of like there's probably about half of that's going to be speculation on stuff we don't know for sure about yet. So we'll get there, but the rest of the news for the week. Okay, guys. Okay. So Adam here has directed me to go to Blue Sky and look up Avery Styles
Yeah,
and
I
see a
had
picture.
not seen his picture until like a half an hour ago.
Okay, yeah. See, I'd never seen this picture. Okay, so two things immediately. One, how old is he? Is he old enough to be Owen
He
Hart's
is
child?
19.
Oh no. Okay. But okay, he looks like he's gonna sell me a 1987 Saab Turbo, brand new off the lot. Like he looks like he is
Yeah,
coming to try to get me to invest in the stock market or something. Like very, I don't know, man. There's something about
wearing a tie that's way too wide
yeah,
and a
way
shirt that's
wide time.
way too puffy.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly good acquaintances with Patrick Bateman.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, he probably could be Patrick Bateman.
I would
Looking at
definitely
this guy.
cast him
Yeah.
in a new version of that movie if we did
Yeah.
one. Like I would, yeah. But he is. Okay, like he is both 47 and 19.
Yeah.
And he also, in his TNA shirt, looks about as happy as you can look in a TNA shirt and also terrifying.
Yeah.
However, he is also somehow simultaneously the least intimidating professional wrestler I have ever seen. And I understand why grizzled veterans from a place like GCW would be like, of course, this kid needs to help pick up chairs.
Yeah.
Just seeing this picture, I completely understand just from being in the wrestling business. Now, we are mentioning him and said TNA shirt because he's been signed to TNA.
Yeah, just got signed today at Lockdown, and he's had 6 matches. Um, I guess we can't really complain because we got Nick Wayne. We got -1 waiting in the wings. You know,
Yeah.
I suppose we can't really complain, but like just a week, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how AJ Styles, as part of this whole controversy with chairs, was talking about how initially, anyway, oh yeah, he wants to do it the right way, go on the indies and pay his dues, and he's had 6 matches. I don't know how much dues are anymore on the internet or on the indie scene rather, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 6 matches.
I would wager that it is a lot more than that. But what I'm trying to, okay, so just one, this is the thing that's bothering me right now. Okay. Like I'm pretty sure that I have read somewhere else and that the TNA triple part Dark Side of the Ring that they did, which sorry guys, we won't be talking about Dark Side of the Ring this week. I didn't watch it. I do love Missy Hyatt, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm afraid it's
Given
going to
some
be
of the
sad.
things, given some of the things I've heard about Missy Hyatt, outside the episode, I'm not sure you're going to like Missy Hyatt after this episode.
I might not, but I've met her and she was nice to me, and I
Yeah,
haven't heard anything much
right,
else about her. So, I can only go on what I got. And if I see this
right.
episode and she's fucked up, then okay, I'm sorry. Um, but the 3-part TNA thing made me think. At least I think they said in there somewhere that Dixie Carter doesn't work at TNA anymore. She's no longer in charge. Her parents don't own big piece of TNA. That's over,
Right.
right?
It's over.
Okay.
She has no connection to it other than a historical one.
Okay. Are we sure? Because this is the most Dixie Carter ass shit I've ever seen. Like
I mean,
we
TNA's always
hired a guy with 6 matches because he's AJ Styles' kid and he made some waves in the industry in the last couple of weeks. Is such a Dixie Carter ass fucking thing to do. I feel like Vince Russo and Dixie Carter both are involved. Like, bro, he's in the news. It'd be great, bro. Yeah, we should do that. It'll get good ratings. And it's not. It won't. Okay, it won't. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, it's a TNA move. Doesn't really matter who is in charge. LOL TNA is a thing for a reason.
Okay,
and
that
for
is fair.
stuff like this.
That is fair.
You know,
I feel like if TNA has a benefit to it, it is that I get to make fun of it when I get to talk about it because
the thing is,
number two, my ass. Okay,
in the brief periods where it was good, it was really good.
But
like 05, 06, 07, and then briefly under Scott D'Amore. Like it was good. It was good wrestling television. They made stars. Like they stuck to their guns. I mean, not so much in the 2005 period. Like they were still trying to figure out. Like once they made that first signing of Christian Cage, it was like, ooh, how many other former WWF and / WWE guys can we sign and push over our own guys? Yeah. But like there were still, we'll always have the unbreakable X Division 3-way.
I mean, they had some great stuff. A lot of the times the wrestling was always really solid. The creative is just such garbage.
Always, pretty much always
been such
almost
garbage.
Always.
And I'm like, I watched wrestling is a TV show. Okay. I watch it to be entertained. Wrestling itself does entertain me, but if I'm forced to watch the whole show and the half of it, or in the case of when Vince Russo was running shit, like 3/4 to 90% of the fucking show were angles and backstage promos and barely matches and all that stuff. I'm not entertained by the wrestling anymore because it isn't really there. And Vince Russo's creative is garbage. Let's all be real with each other here. So,
Yeah.
and it always has been. Okay. Vince Russo ruined WCW and he fucking, and I don't think he had as big a hand in WWF as they said he did. And he ruined WCW and he ruined TNA. Okay. And I've heard him, he's been hired close to me in proximity to work creative for several different wrestling companies on the indies that I am familiar with, and most of them no longer exist. So he ruins things. The man turns everything wrestling he touches to shit. That said, the wrestling for the most part on TNA, when it was there and we had good wrestlers there and they weren't just a bunch of old guys, we got great wrestling. The creative was shit though. Now this hiring AJ Styles kid, this is all because of the GCW thing. He would not have been signed otherwise. He made noise, and the squeakiest wheel gets the grease, as it were.
Yeah, it's people are already making the connections like, oh wow, he faced just a little bit of hardship, and then his daddy bailed him out so much for paying your dues and all that.
Yeah. Do I consider his dues paid? No. Is it my fucking decision? No. Am I paying him? Hell no. Is he getting paid very much? Doubt it.
Probably not.
Like if you were going to go ahead and skip to the majors, you should have got your daddy to get you a job at WWE where you could cash a real paycheck if you weren't going to work. Yeah. Because at TNA, you're probably going to work and you're not going to get paid dick. At WWE, you might not work, but you're going to have a guaranteed contract.
Now, if it's in NXT, it's not going to be much.
No, I bet it's more than TNA though. I bet it's more than
quite possibly. Yeah,
I bet it is.
Quite.
Well, maybe possibly. Not now. Maybe not now. It might be a lot closer with TKO cutting people's salaries and shit. But 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh no, he's definitely making more at NXT than he is at TNA. Like Black and Gold, for sure.
Yeah.
But now, maybe not. Maybe it is a lot closer. I'm not sure which one would be on top now with TKO trying to cut costs and stuff like that. But can they really say they're cutting costs if they're paying for tickets to AEW shows? Which I guess we could talk about that. We talked about the show where we made a joke like, oh, what if it was like TKO or WWE representative dummies that just got drunk and were like, so I should go home. It's entirely possible that was the case because at that show in Las Vegas, there were representatives from TKO in the crowd at AEW who, of course, were not comped and absolutely did buy tickets.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like, now, why?
Well, I mean, TKO headquarters is in Las Vegas, so it was probably pretty easy. My guess is that TKO, whoever sent those representatives probably bought the tickets on behalf of the company to go scout it since they were in town.
I mean, possibly, but I mean, most of the time, like, okay, I always think the worst. So I'm like, they're there to look and evaluate the company based on what they know. And then they're going to try to monopolize the wrestling world and the combat sports world by putting an offer into Tony Khan, which I almost guarantee 99% would say Tony Khan would be like, stuff that shit up your ass. Now, I'm not sure, but maybe. But yeah,
in progress.
But yeah, I think Tony Khan would tell him to stick it if they made him an offer. And they can't buy enough stock to take it away from him because it's not a publicly traded company.
Yeah,
you can't fucking hostile takeover a company that you can't buy shares in without fucking one person's permission. So, and if they tried to pull some bullshit move on that, he also has like literally one of the most powerful sports team owners in the world as a father, who would definitely crush TKO. I guarantee you, Tony Khan's dad has a big enough dick to swing to fucking crush TKO's dream. He could absolutely do that. He has fucking pull with governments and all kinds of shit. I mean, this guy's a fucking football club owner. Okay. Like that's not a small thing. And he owns a bunch of other shit too. He's not a fucking poor guy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they were there. It's really weird to me that they were even there at all. Like it tells me that they're probably up to something stupid and shady, like trying to make an offer. And I have no fear that we're gonna see a TKO sponsored AEW. It's not.
Oh God, no.
It'll never happen. Uh,
TK may have like found God in the wake of his mom's death or whatever, but there's still that petty TK in there
oh
deep
no, he
down.
definitely exists. Yeah.
He's there. He's not as bold or as vengeful as he used to be, but he's there. He's just
Yeah.
smart about it.
Yeah.
He's wizened. He's got 7 years experience doing this now. Like
Yeah.
he's hit his he had his honeymoon period. He hit the skids for a little bit in terms of how he was online and stuff like that. But I keep going back to that one video that was edited by somebody. I don't know who it was, but with this intercut with it starts with the with him in the neck brace selling the attack from the Young Bucks, and how he was saying the WWE was the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling, and then it goes into Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's a brilliant edit. You should seek it out. I really wish I knew who made it. I forget to check each time I see it again.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, other than the stuff we're going to cover in Call in the Ring, that's pretty much the news for the week. Always like to. I mean, God, that man, I can't get over how he looks. Oh, there's something about all that. But we got Dynamite this week,
Yes.
and that came to us from
Chesapeake Energy Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Great crowd.
Yeah, great crowd. Really, really hot crowd.
Started off with the United Empire, Will Ospreay, Francesco Akira, and Hanare versus Brian Cage, Rocky Romero, and Lance Archer. The Don Callis family was all over this show. I think every single member of the family that is currently not injured showed up today, on that day, except for Don Callis.
Yeah, everybody but Don Callis.
Everybody but Don Callis, who was implied to be on a beach in Greece for some reason. I don't know. That's what Excalibur said. I'm running with it.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, if they didn't have a match, they were running in at the end of the show, which we'll talk about. But yeah, I think every single active member of the family was there tonight on that night. It was a miracle. It was an all-in miracle.
Yeah.
Surprised they were able to fit them all on the show.
Right.
But I loved the fact that Hanare showed up.
Yeah,
I really liked Hanare the first time I saw him when he came in a few months ago to help Will at the beginning of the Death Riders angle. And it's good to see him now. It was cool seeing him do big beefy boy stuff with Lance Archer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good one, man. That guy is scary looking, man.
Yeah. Well, anybody who willingly tattoos their face is automatically kind of intimidating.
I mean, if those are traditional Maori tattoos,
they are.
Then the way that they were done makes it even scarier.
Yeah, it's like
because they usually they do little tap sticks, man. Yeah, like and it's way more.
And that's on the jawline for him.
Yeah, it's
too.
like all down his face and on his jaw. Yeah, that had to be. It's like a test of manhood or something in their culture. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but and I don't want to like,
Well, the women get tattoos too, though. Ain't you never seen Moana?
No.
You should. It's really good, actually.
But yeah,
the original. Great. Don't do the live action one.
No.
I haven't seen it, but I have no desire to see something that was given a live action remake 10 years after. Only 10 years after the original.
Right.
I think they had to do it while The Rock was still able to like do the role physically.
I guess. Now, Akira was the one who really impressed me in this match, though.
I mean,
That
he's a
kid
bump
was,
machine for sure.
yeah, he's
Played a really good Ricky Morton for a good portion of the match.
yeah, he did, but he's also like got some really good offense too. Like he's
Yeah,
creative. I like how creative he is. Like I'd like to see more of both of these guys. To be honest, over here in
yeah. I
AW, I
mean,
know
he
they're New Japan guys, but so I mean,
got working relationships. It's fine
yeah,
if they're willing to do the travel. Hey,
yeah, basically. I mean, who doesn't like a nice 12-hour flight?
yeah.
Um,
Unsurprisingly, the United Empire win. The finish reminded me a lot of that one match that Rocky Romero had with uh Kenny Omega, where he does his little sliding taunt into the corner camera and then gets taken out by the V trigger from behind. This time it was a hidden blade from
yeah,
Will Ospreay. It was the same spot though, and it was funny both times.
yes, it was. It was hilarious. It was totally unsurprising because I mean, Rocky Romero was in the match. We knew
Yeah, yeah.
Rocky was here to take that L. And
We at this show very much appreciate and love Rocky, but if he's in a match and it's not a singles match or a tag match with Trent against undercard guys, dude's losing.
it's
Like
that L. Yeah, that
he,
guy's L City.
yep.
He loses as much as Moxley wins.
I don't understand why he's a part of the Don Callis family because he
I
hasn't benefited from it at all.
I have no idea why him or Trent are part of the Don Callis family, but I mean,
I miss best friends.
I like
Chuck had to go
conglomeration
in.
better, so I don't
Chuck
really.
had to go and retire. Like, dude, Chuck Taylor is hilarious. He's one of the funniest guys to ever do professional wrestling.
I don't
But
disagree.
yeah, he brought out a chainsaw from underneath the ring one time, and he wasn't even in the match. He was just at the ringside with a crazed look on his face. He's great. Kentucky Gentleman was fantastic. Also, he's a Twitter legend for his response to Jim Cornette. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Cornette said something about Ricochet being a disgrace. He didn't name him, but he was talking about Ricochet being a disgrace, or no, Chuck being a disgrace to the state of Kentucky in terms of professional wrestling. He wouldn't name names, but he's like, oh, this one guy. Oh, I'm ashamed to be from Kentucky like him. And obviously, Chuck knew it was him that he was being, but he goes and asks, is it Ricochet?
Is Ricochet from Kentucky?
Yeah,
'Cause then it is
originally, yeah.
Ricochet.
He lives in Las Vegas now, but he's from Kentucky originally.
Nah, okay. Well, I mean, it is him. So,
Yeah,
but at least that's the knowing what we know now, that's the lore I'm going with.
yeah.
So after this match, we got backstage with Okada and Fletcher and Renee Paquette, and Okada is still being very cunty Okada.
That's the best Okada. I
Is.
know his glory days in New Japan produced better matches. This is my favorite Okada, though.
Yeah.
He's such a needly little prick.
Yeah. But this basically says to me, like, I think Takeshita's going to win this match because I think this is where Kyle Fletcher makes his exit.
Don't talk about that until later. Don't
Later,
talk about that till later.
Well, still, I mean, look at what I mean. We're talking about the storyline right now. Look what Okada is doing to him. This is obviously leading to a Kyle Fletcher exit. I don't think Okada's going to like.
Yeah,
I'm with you now. I don't think Okada's going to be the one who leaves. But yeah, I definitely think there's an exit coming for somebody, and it looks like it's going to be Fletcher.
I mean,
there may be
really
forced exits later.
He's really outgrown it.
Yeah, he kind of has.
He's in the conversation for best bell-to-bell wrestler in the company, if not the world, right now.
Yeah,
and he can talk already. Yeah. What do you need a manager for?
Well, see, here's the thing that I like. How odd is it that like his feud is with Okada and Takeshita, and he has outgrown that level of competition. Where now I would much rather see him feuding with like Swerve or Osprey or
No,
literally
not
anybody else who's a former
yes,
world champion.
Osprey, but down the line because we've done that. Like it's recent past history.
I don't think we've
Recent.
done. I don't know. I don't think we've done a United Empire destruction blow off in the way that it could be done. Dude, if he turned on the Don Callis family, we could literally have Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis versus fucking Kyle Fletcher, and I gotta have a chubby saying that. Like that shit would be fucking wild, and that the way they are now would be a proper United Empire blow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's definitely an exit coming, but at the same time, I don't know. I think Okada's going to try to fuck him over, or something's going to happen. It's going to kind of take them both away from the main part of the action. However, after that, we go up to the front, and Tony Schiavone introduces Kyle Fletcher to come out and ask him about everything Okada was saying. And
It was probably best that they separated those two
yeah,
because
but
I don't think you want them to touch until the match, if
yeah,
possible.
yeah, no, not at all, not at all.
But it was good that they had Takeshita come out and do like a little 90-second mini match here with Fletcher because Kyle can get over with words, but Takeshita, English isn't his native language, so he needs to lean more heavily on just being awesome at kicking ass. And that's what I mean, we didn't see anything that we haven't been shown before, but it was still, great stuff because Takeshi's stuff looks great.
Yeah.
And if you can't cut a promo that's going to be a nice way of putting it, I guess, would be as effective as Kyle Fletcher or even really Okada, then the best they can do is have him come out and, kick Fletcher's ass. Like,
yeah,
I thought it was an effective use of him.
It was. Also, I didn't realize I would miss Takeshita so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop sending him to Japan for these tournaments, okay? If he's not going to win them, don't send him back. Like, let's just keep him over here. Like, let's just.
Well, he almost won. To be fair, they did keep him looking strong. I guess he had he was booked to basically just missed out on climbing out of Block A and into the next round. I think if I'm remembering correctly, and please somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it came down to having an identical record as the one who did go forward, but losing against that guy in their match.
Okay.
So he still was. I mean, he won the whole thing last year. So they and he is technically a New Japan contracted guy as well. He's not just a guy on loan from AEW. He has a triple contract with New Japan, AEW, and DDT. So dude is busy.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And you know why? Really because he's one of the best hands on the entire planet.
Yeah, that's true. He is. After that, we have more Angle as we go right back into.
This was the big one,
bro.
Ooh.
How diabolical is Kenny that? The only thing that's really stuck with me out of this was bringing Will's kid into this. Like, that was some diabolical shit, man. Like, you get him up and wanting to fight you already. You already presented fighting words to this man. You already got him out of his chair.
Honestly, it was.
Then you dropped the kid.
It was only that really, to me, cemented okay, all right, Will's justified now, because I mean, let's be real here. There was a lot of passion in this promo, but it dug up a lot of stuff that was should have been dead and buried a long time ago. It should have been it's refreshing, for people who are just coming in, and there are a lot of people who are new to AEW who could probably use the crash course in their relationship. Okay, granted. But for the people who were there for it and who saw the build up to their Wrestle Kingdom match, like a lot of this was a rehash of what they said in the lead up to that match from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. And I think it was 2 years ago, right now, 2.5, because Wrestle Kingdom was January. So it was like, I mean, he brought up how bad COVID, was, and it was a lot different in Japan and the whole thing, but like it blurred the line a little bit too much between kayfabe and reality. Like he was talking about, we didn't have fans, you had you performed for your, everybody here, and there are all marks for Kenny Omega and stuff like that. So of course you had a better time, and like. Besides the fact that all that stuff is like, you should have just kept a kayfabe for it. Kenny obliterated him with one sentence after that. It's like, he said what it amounted to, yeah, COVID was hard for everybody. Which is true.
Yeah.
It's so true that a lot of people repressed memories and memory hold that whole thing. People forget. People show their asses online how much they've forgotten about 2020 to 2022. Like all the time. They forget the lessons that they should have learned. They forget the craziness that was that time period. And bringing that up is like, oh God, like, can we just move past it? Like, I don't know. This was really, really well delivered, and it was captivating. But like, to me, it was nice to have that refresher, honestly. But like Kenny, like, just completely just made him look like a tool.
Yeah.
Until he brought his kid up. I'm glad he brought his kid up, because at that point it was like, okay, finally I'm kind of on Will's side here. I know I'm supposed to be, but he's acting like a petulant child. And it's difficult for me to get behind that. As soon as you bring up somebody's kid, it's like, okay, all right. You're crossing the line here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'm glad that he went there, because it got me right back on the side where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
As a viewer, as somebody who was absorbing this material, and we still got 4
hours for Kenny to be more heelish.
I mean, come on, it's going to be probably closer to 5, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, God.
The way the overruns have been going lately.
Overruns are beating my ass lately, man. I'll be like,
somebody brought up on Blue Sky that this Collision last week, Warner Brothers sent them to a commercial at 9:57 p.m.
Oh God.
You know what that means? There's only one thing that can mean. Because the ad breaks are determined by the network.
Yeah.
So they sent them to ad break before the top of the hour, right before the top of the hour. That means they are totally fine with these overruns. It means they are not at all upset about them.
No.
In fact, they're probably actively encouraging them.
We should just call Dynamite 3 hours. Like, it should just be a 3 hours.
2.5 hours is fine. I don't think we need to get in the trap of 3-hour Raws, but with AEW stuff.
No, I mean, we could just add more women's matches. It'd be fine.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. Like, I would rather it be its own separate hour. Like, bring back Rampage, make it a women's only show, put it on its own night.
That'd be cool.
Just
put
it on a Friday night. Put it after SmackDown. Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Like, people don't go out on Fridays anymore like they used to. They haven't for a long, long time. They're probably willing to stay in and watch an hour. And SmackDown will probably start playing with overruns themselves to kind of counteract it, but who cares?
Yeah.
As good as their women's roster is, regardless of how it's booked, there's a ton of talent on that roster. Had they given only, a sole women's hour? No, They haven't done that. AEW can say that they've done it first.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Speaking of women's wrestling, though, we got our TBS Championship 4-way match after this.
Yeah.
And we got it's Maya World, our champion, versus Statlander, Persephone, and Sheeta. And I thought this was a little short for all four of those people to be in it.
Persephone's going to be a star.
Yeah, she's going to be a huge star.
She's going to be a huge star. Like, you could just see it. I mean, when she's in there with seasoned veterans in Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander, and she's the one who comes out looking the most polished. It's like, you know, like she's going to be a real big deal in the upcoming years for AEW. I can guarantee it, nearly.
Yeah.
Maya, the most surprising thing, Maya pinned Chris.
Yeah, Chris took the pin. Like that was.
I thought for sure it was going to be Sheeta.
Yeah, out of this group, that's who I thought it would be. If somebody else didn't win, you know, like
yeah.
So, like, and I was afraid that we might get a change here for some reason. I don't know. I was like, why would they do this? You know?
Yeah. No, she countered the Saturday Night Fever into a cradle, and just a deep cradle, and pinned Stat, and Stat looked flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Like she really sold. Like they did protect her. I mean, anytime you do like a roll up finish over like a finish, it protects the person getting pinned mostly, unless it's due to like a dumb distraction.
Yeah,
you know. But like if it's a reversal into a cradle of some kind, more often than not, that's seen as legitimate enough because it's a pinfall, but fluky enough that it could justify a rematch down the line.
Yeah.
And Maya World getting a pinfall over Chris Statlander is no small thing. They're strapping the rocket to this girl.
Yeah. Yeah, the people that are giving her wins over, I mean, even the way she looked in her in the next matchup that she had this week, we'll talk about.
Yeah, she pulled double duty this week.
Yeah. And then after that, we go to back to the promo factory, and we got the Brawling Birds, who kind of give us the rundown with, we got 2 undefeated teams, 2 tag titles, and thousands of drunken Brits.
Yep.
They are very much playing the stereotype that every American thinks a British person is. And I mean, they're British, so I guess if they're cool with it, they're cool with it, but
I mean, who would know what to lean into more than them, I suppose.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. But I don't know. If I had to name a storyline going into All In that I'm really just not that interested in, it's this one. And that's unfortunate because I don't think the match is going to turn out terrible. I think it's actually going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I like all the talents that are involved. It would have been more impressive stuff. It would have been if they had run this exact same angle, but like to a T. But the teams that each team had beaten had all been legitimate teams.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different because like undefeated doesn't mean dick when all like the Brawling Birds haven't beaten anybody real.
Yeah,
they haven't beaten. They've beaten like almost entirely job teams, right?
Yeah,
I think they beat High End and Maya World at one point. That's about as close as you get, and even then, that was before their stock had risen.
Yeah, they were.
You put them in the ring with those two now, and they're probably still going over, and High End's taking the pin. But like, at least it would be booked to be more competitive because of the high profile that Maya now has.
Yeah, it would be a 30-minute match at that point.
Yeah, so. This seems like the foregone conclusion, and I'll be happy for Jamie and for Alex. I really will be. I absolutely will be. And the match will be good. I don't see any reason that it wouldn't be. But like there's not a lot of sauce behind it.
No.
Which considering, they're Brits. I guess that's that's just par for the course.
Yeah, it'll be
So
nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll be a nice one to keep the crowd happy while it's happening. Um,
yeah,
I imagine there's gonna like, I swear to God, if they have this match and they make all the British people so happy because the Brawling Birds win, and the next entrance music I hear is from Mercedes Monet, I'm gonna weep because I'm gonna know what's about to happen. Um, but I'll tell you where all the sauce is going right now, and that's into that Continental Cup, Challenge
oh
Cup
yeah,
quarterfinals.
yeah.
And
You know me, I like a tournament anyway, but I've been particularly digging this.
guy, yeah, I've been really liking this one. I also really enjoyed Moxley versus Jay.
This was a great match. Probably the best of their three,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Um, Jay White is still 2-1 on Mox all time, so Mox finally kind of gets a win back on him
Yeah,
over somebody that he had previously kind of had somebody have his number over.
yeah.
Um, it was kind of slow at the beginning and picked back up about a third of the way through, and then they just put the gas on and
Mm-hmm.
uh
They went full Kings Road with this one, man.
yeah, they
Like
definitely did.
they
There were
definitely did.
4 cutthroat suplexes in this match.
Geez, dude, I was like, how many is it gonna take to kill this guy? Because he's gonna
Yeah,
die.
yeah. uh
Oh,
I like
it is
that
wild.
Mox didn't tap, or Jay didn't tap.
Yeah.
Jay didn't tap. um gotta protect your baby faces,
Mm-hmm.
at least the top ones. And we know that Tony Khan is a big fan of Jay White because he keeps pushing him. Like he's not he's mostly undefeated against Adam Page. He has had several opportunities at the world title when he was healthy. He was angling to make a big splash in the Owen last year before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was scheduled to win it, but you know that he was going to be featured.
Oh,
Um,
heavily, yeah.
he was, he's been a trios champ before he got injured and had to vacate.
Mm-hmm.
And like, obviously, he's always prominently featured. TK is a big fan of Jay White, and I would not. You'd be a fool to think that he's not going to have gold in his weight around his waist in the next 365 days.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
going to have something.
Kyle Fletcher being out of the international title scene, or the international title scene would, I mean, they'd be a great spot for Jay White
Yep.
to fill, you know. So, I mean, I think something's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
The match was really good. Moxley gets the win, of course, because LOL Mox wins. Okay, God dang. And after that, though, the dogs come out and attack Jay White because the Bang Bang Gang is not here to adhere to the rules of the Continental Classic, as we would find out later. But they attack him, and then Gabe Kidd shows up, and
Yeah.
I knew you were just so underwhelmed.
I just don't get me wrong. For the sake of like continuity, I guess I was glad he was back, because what that means is that they don't have to have as many Death Riders, Death Rider run-ins on there. Like, it's confused. Like, I know the Death Riders do what they want to do or whatever, but like when they were trying to gas up Will and babyface Will, and then have this association with the dogs who are definitely heels.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed inconsistent, and it seemed like they were just holding water because this is the place where Gabe Kidd would come in.
Yeah.
And I think after this week, the events of both Dynamite and Collision, we see a clearer picture of where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like that direction, for the record. We'll get to it in a minute.
Well,
But
it's going to start right here because,
yeah,
boy, did okay. So the dogs attacked. Gabe Kidd shows back up, so they're a trio again now.
with a lot more facial hair than I remember him having.
And a lot more silver
He's the
team.
global champion, isn't he?
No, I think he was until recently.
Did he drop it?
I think maybe I'm not. I don't. I'm not sure. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to New Japan. I think I'd read that he had dropped it somewhere though. But they show up, they attack Jay White, then the trios champions, Brodito and Hangman, decide to make the save. But as they're making the save, they get on the mic, and then the Demand and the Lethal Twist show up. So we got 4 trios in the arena right now at the same time. And we got a nice big bald chant and all that good stuff because they hate Ricochet, and and of course him and Jay Lethal are doing is it you or me? It's both of you assholes. But Hangman just was like, if there's anybody who wants a shot at the trios championship, meet us under the Wembley Arch at dusk because your champions will be waiting.
Yeah,
we are getting our multi trios team match. That is happening.
Furthermore, all of a sudden, pretty much overnight, the trios division is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got really the conglomeration. Hot. You've got the champions, you've got the conglomeration, you've got the Demand, you've got the Dogs, you've got the Bang Bang Gang. They would assert themselves on Collision. That's what I was referencing. Yeah. You've got a little bit later another combination that looks like it's going to make itself a party to that.
I think there's 2 surprise combinations that are going to make themselves a party to that, and we'll talk about that at Call of the Ring.
Yeah. But yeah, like all of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Adam Page is now a dedicated part of the trios division. Yeah, this is going to get some attention now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense once you realize who the champions actually are.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's Adam Page. Like, of course
he's the main character.
Yeah. So, directly after that, we go back. There's a section here I really want to talk about, but we're not at it yet. You know what? Fuck it. We're just going to do it here. At some point after this match, and after this big angle here with all the trios, we get a backstage interview with Swerve.
Yeah.
And he said, Page said anyone could go after the trios titles. And he said, don't say it if you don't mean it.
Yep.
And we've been talking about this for weeks, but this is where the New Day shows up.
I was going to say, Hangman said, meet us there at dusk. But I think that they're going to meet them there at daybreak.
Yeah, I believe so. And I don't think that's going to be the only surprise. That one's not really a surprise. We know what's coming. And the way they're building it, like, it's obvious.
Yeah.
If it's not those guys.
It's so weird, though. Like, I did not anticipate that. No. Until this was made mention, and it makes it very clear who it was.
Yeah.
Very clear implication here. I didn't think that was what they were going to do with them. Mm. But I don't hate it.
Well, think about it. We got Hangman.
Yep.
Swerve's going to be part of this division.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if the 2 of them are going to be in this division, it's going to get hell of play.
Yeah.
Definitely enough attention for a super team to debut into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they will be getting the attention that they are likely seeking as part of this deal. So, the trios division about to be way hot. Like it already is heating up, especially after the next couple things I'll talk about, like the stuff I'll talk about in Call of the Ring. I think is going to heat it up even more.
Yeah. Also, I think that this indicates that if Kofi and Austin are going with Swerve, they're hanging out with him. Big tonal shift, big character direction dovetail for them.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not getting
they're
the New Day
not.
as we know them.
We're
No.
not getting silly, fun-loving pranksters. We're getting guys who are gonna be very, very serious in their
Mhm.
presentation. I'm okay with that. They showed like I don't watch WWE, but I would be absolutely lying if I said I didn't check out the New Day heel turn segment.
Mhm.
And it was brilliant. It
Yeah.
was incredible TV. Apparently the follow-up on that was hot garbage,
It was.
but the turn itself was expertly done.
Yeah.
If they can carry on that level of cerebral intent,
Yeah.
I think that they and Swerve would be a really good fit with each other, actually.
Yeah, I think they would be.
So, I mean, those are two very creative and, more importantly, very driven creative guys.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
they
don't. They
definitely are.
don't. They definitely. They definitely do subscribe to the Ron Swanson theory of commitment.
Yeah.
Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing.
Yeah.
And they're gonna whole-ass this.
Yeah. But yeah, since we jumped ahead a little bit, we go back and we've got Renee Paquette backstage with Maya World.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, look, this very so Maya's talking about her win. She retains the title. Willow shows up, reminds her that she said that if she won the title, she would be the first one to get a shot. And we made a match for Collision.
Mm-hmm.
We all, if you're a sicko of the Smart Mark variety, you are well aware of the Tony Khan pattern, which is win belt, give them one really good title defense, take belt away.
Yep.
I only hope that this is not what this is. I really hope that this is not what this is. I am excited for this match immediately.
Yeah.
But in the back of my head, I had those
concerns too. Yes.
In the back of my head, I have that concern, and that kind of lives on this match, unfortunately. But the match we'll talk about later, was good. After that, we've got it says this is a match, but this was not a match. This was this our Condor? I mean, if they're going to call it a match, was this our Condor? Well, yeah, wait, they did. They did. They turned it into a match, but it still wasn't the Condor, was it?
No, I think in order for it to be, we haven't brought this up before. It hasn't occurred to be brought up before, but because this was an impromptu match, I think it disqualifies it right out.
Fair.
The Condor comes in with intent. It doesn't come in there, he comes in there, looking for a fight. He doesn't come in there playing at a fight, thinking that the guy's not there. Jonathan Cruz, however, was wonderful here.
Yeah.
Just a sniveling little shit, and I loved it. And then he took he called out, he said he was MJF's personal Spanish translator. He cut some back and forth Spanish and English in his promo, basically about how MJF is better than Andrade. He said Andrade isn't here, but if he was, I'd call him out and send him packing. And then Andrade does actually show up, and Jonathan Cruz's face is brilliant. He's like, oh no. And then before you can blink, there's a referee in the ring.
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't even know where he appeared from. I don't even know where he came from.
Oh no. You'll never know that. That's a secret. I'll take that one to my grave.
The bell rings, and immediately Cruz gets demolished with a Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, and God, yeah.
Just absolutely, it was like it was like Godzilla made footfall. Like it just
Yeah, dude.
completely
He turned him into
destroyed him.
John Cruz, aka Inside Out Boy.
Yeah, just uh, and then he took the DM for the loss. Super quick, you know, technically a match for Andrade. Um, but yeah, then Andrade gets on the mic, uh, and or it promises to take him. What take him down was how you know the whole deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I really like John. I think John Cruz is funny. I think they need to give him more
I do
TV
too.
time. I think he's fucking hilarious. Being
Yeah,
bilingual helps.
I
But
love him in this role.
like,
I mean, he's obviously a trained wrestler who takes bumps. I wonder how he got so good at doing that.
I heard he was trained by that Serpentico guy, and he's great at taking bumps too.
Yeah,
So,
but he's a loser, perennial loser.
also is John Cruz. I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah, but he's not a wrestler. He can't be expected to win.
I mean, I will just say that I prescribe to the book of fuck
we're
around
a
and
snake
find
eating
out.
itself at this point.
Yeah, I subscribe to fuck around and find out. So if he wants to
Yeah.
open his mouth, that's the fucking around part.
Yeah.
Especially when Andrade
True.
is in the building. Um,
Yeah.
but after that, we got Renee Paquette conducting an interview with Willow and Mercedes Moné, and they are in different rooms. And when I tell you that this is the Willow I have been waiting for, I cannot tell you. Like, my wife and I had this discussion because we're both of the same. Like, my kayfabe loving wife and I have finally converged in the path, and the path is we were waiting for Willow to pull the New York out of her.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I'm taking my earring. I'm about to whoop her
Yeah.
motherfucking
As soon as you know
ass.
as soon as the earrings come out, you know it's on.
You know it's fucking on. Like
If you've never known a hot tempered woman, you know that once those earrings come out, you're not stopping anything.
And this is why I want Willow to win this, because by God, like, you pissed her off hard enough, Mercedes, that she stopped smiling for a second and let the Long Island bitch come out.
Yeah.
And no, complimentary to you, all you strong-willed Long Island ladies. Okay, I've known a few of you in my time, and none of you are to be trifled with. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for unhinged brawler. I was waiting for somebody to make her mad enough to make her into the unhinged
waiting
brawler.
for that, but I was also really, really pleased with Mercedes finally kind of coming clean about what her issue with Willow really is. It's like, you keep following me around and you keep smiling every single time that I experience, a major failure. You're there and you're smiling. It's like, yeah, you know what? That is understandable. If somebody else was constantly foiling whatever I had going on and they were smiling the whole time, that'd get under my skin too. I understand that. It doesn't mean I'm not rooting for Willow, but I understand the villain.
I mean, in this case, it's more of like, to me, because Mercedes is a heel. This is only because Mercedes is a heel. If it was the other way around, it wouldn't be so much. Willow would be a complete antagonist in that case. And to Mercedes, she is a complete antagonist. However, from the heel face dynamic, Willow is the physical embodiment of Mercedes' karma.
Yeah.
She's the physical embodiment of her karma. She is everything that Mercedes deserves, which is the hits to her ego, are all coming from Willow.
Yeah,
that's where they come from.
Mercedes is a bully. The only way you to effectively deal with a bully is to bully them harder. Like this. That's really the only way to do it.
And when they got to the brawl part of this, boy, did she bully her harder. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Like I was like, oh great. This, like, because when Mercedes grabbed her in the hallway, I was like, oh crap, Mercedes has got the early advantage. She's gonna beat her up. She's gonna be standing tall over the champion. And then we get into the arena proper and Willow Robert, and she is just beating the brakes off her like a fucking gorilla. Like it was the best. Like I'm just
Yeah.
I can't not
And they
tell
needed
you
to be pulled
how.
apart like 3 times.
Yeah, I can't like the line about the mom and the kid really brought the Omega fucking Will Ospreay thing up a level of hype a little bit, you know. But the
Yeah.
hottest angle going to All In is this one. It is this one. I don't that might be a hot take to some people, but the hottest angle going into All In is Willow versus Mercedes, especially after this. Like this was everything it needed to be. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was I mean, like the best version of a pull apart, you know, because you could tell neither of them were trying to get fined or lose their match at All In because they hit a security guard or something. And the security guards were
Yeah.
really trying to hold them back and they were really just being really squirrely. And, but just from the interview to the breakdown to the brawl, this was the perfect progression. This put this match exactly where it needed to be for All In. The fact that there was more to it later, even better. But this really, like, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is it.
Really, it really brings to mind and lampshades how it may have taken Willow a really long time since her debut to get to this level and to win the big one. But man, like I'm almost glad it took that long because she is absolutely ready for this. She has carried herself like the top star, like the champion.
Yep.
And has done it without a skip in her step at all. Like not a single stumble, trip and fall, nothing. Like natural as breathing for her, and it makes me really want her to win.
Yeah,
because it's like, wow, it looks like she was, I don't know if she wasn't ready earlier, but she is absolutely ready now.
Yeah,
for this responsibility and for this role. So I'm looking forward to the match, and I'm hoping that she pulls it out.
Hope so too.
Next was what we already covered with Swerve, so we'll skip over that. And then Continental Challenge Cup quarterfinal, Nigel McGuinness versus Hechicero. And
man.
As soon as I saw the field for this tournament, I'm like, yep, Nigel's going to get to the finals because they'll put him in front of Wembley. He may not win, but he's definitely going to be in the finals, and they're not going to waste the opportunity to face every top techer they have along the way. They did it with Shibata, who honestly in his matches, he, for a guy called the wrestler, doesn't usually get opportunities to show his grappling skills, but they were able to do that. Hechicero here, the mad scientist of Lucha Libre, he's gonna, spoiler alert, he's gonna face Kyle O'Reilly this coming week. Like, I didn't see the progression, but I saw, like, yeah, he's gonna face at least Hechicero and Kyle. I didn't necessarily call Shibata, but it was like, yeah, he's gonna face all the techers here.
Yeah, because, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you do that? That's his whole gimmick, is, in his old age, is that, yeah, he's kind of lost a step in terms of speed and stuff, but like, he's still one of the best technical, grapplers in professional wrestling. Yeah. And I'll die on that hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can kill me right next to him on that hill, man. This, another perfect, like 15-minute masterclass in fucking technical wrestling. It was great. It was really great, man. And Nigel doing I still am not sure if he really is hurt.
Yeah, I don't either, but I don't like that. I don't mind that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind not knowing. I also really like him in peril. Like he's making great, entertaining, fucking engrossing
matches. If it is a real injury, it only serves the story all the more. Really,
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes him more sympathetic the longer he goes.
Yeah.
If it's a fake injury, if it's a worked injury, then yes, it accomplishes that goal. But if it's a real one, it doubles down on it.
Yeah.
And he didn't make Hechicero tap out. He choked him out with guillotine choke. That is not something you necessarily expect from Nigel McGuinness.
No.
Usually it's a lot of joint locks, mostly on the arm. The London Dungeon is just basically like a camel clutch version of a key lock from behind. Like that's basically what it is. That was his go-to submission in his heyday. When he was like a fully active wrestler. I did not expect a guillotine choke to end this match.
Yeah.
That was great. And honestly, like because he passed out instead of tapped out, it still protected Hechicero as champion too, as CMLL world champion.
Yeah, he didn't lose anything in this match.
No, God no, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like Hechicero also always looks awesome. Like,
yeah, he does. He does always look
like awesome. I'm really hoping that they put him in the Continental Classic this year.
I hope so, man.
I really want to see how he meshes with a whole bunch of different people because he is a treat to watch. Yeah. Like we talked about our favorite mass wrestlers not that long ago. We didn't really talk about too many people who are currently wrestling.
Yeah.
But of the current people wrestling with masks, it's like Hechicero and Beast Mortos are my guys.
Oh, yeah, that's my top two for sure. Yeah.
Right there.
I love those guys. Dorada's a real close third.
Commander's amazing.
Commander's amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of really good masked wrestlers right now coming in from CMLL and even New Japan sometimes. And also Stardom.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
incredible.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite masked wrestlers of this year. And I've only seen one match. But yeah, I mean, McGuinness gets the win. He's gonna go on to the next round. I can't wait for this week, man. Glasgow's gonna be fucking crazy.
Then we get some sports entertainment BS.
Yeah. What
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate this, but I was like, "This is what?" Like
it's a little overly. But I didn't hate it.
You've been telling me some fireworks took out Darby Allin. Like,
I mean, it took him out long enough to get blindsided. Is the thing. That's all you needed.
That was like a really
all he needed was to get blinded and possibly burned. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
To sell, because then Kevin Knight, who had coaxed him out from the back and wanting him to stay on the stage and show that he didn't have any weapons on him or whatever, because he didn't believe Darby was good for his word in the previous promo that he had where he was going to leave him alone. He called him out to the ring, and then it was heavily implied that he rigged some pyrotechnics to go off in his face and burn him and blind him and whatnot. And then Kevin Knight took care of the rest personally. So, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, no, he got blown up and he's caught fire and he's going to the hospital and he might miss all it. No, all they did was say that, I mean, yes, they did put it on the stretcher afterwards, but I think they had more to do with the attack because they wrapped a chair around his head and then did the coast to coast. To me, that was more dangerous than a few sparklers in the face.
Yeah. After they got him on the stretcher, though, they start taking him out back. And I feel like my theory about Sting's kids was actually given a lot of credence in this, because Steve Borden shows up and he's calling himself the Scorpion.
I didn't know that.
Scorpion is his, like, it's Steve Scorpion Borden or something like that. But that's what he's wrestling under ROH, and he looks freaking jacked, man. Like, I totally would believe he could take out a few members of the Don Callis.
He looks like a big boy, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they're definitely going to be on hand for this Darby match. At least him and probably his dad. I don't know about the third one. I want to say he's like a streamer or a real estate agent or something, or maybe both. But still, he's also huge. So why wouldn't he? My
feeling is that they'll probably book him this week on Dynamite or Collision and like the last minute, so that Kevin Knight can beat him up too and get some heat for beating up Sting's kid, while giving him his first TV exposure as a proper pro wrestler.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a squash match. I think it'll be like 70-30. I think he'll get a couple of hope spots and a nice comeback before getting shut down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put it past Kevin Knight to put the title on the line.
Yeah. After that, we've got more Don Callis family with Mark Davis, Jake Doyle, and El Clone taking on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, the Elite, back together in the ring for the first time in like a year and a half or so.
Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Clone and the Bucks have really good chemistry together.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't surprise. Well, let's not bury the lead here. What happened before the match? Remember, as Omega was about to make his entrance,
he
gets in another verbal spat with Ospreay, who's come to accost him, and basically he just waves him off. He's like, "Security, get him out of here."
Yeah,
kind of almost pulling EVP rank on him.
Yeah,
they didn't remember on commentary to remind the audience that he never lost his EVP status. He's like the only one who hasn't lost his EVP status.
Yeah, I think he's the
they
only
don't bring
EVP
it up
left.
often.
Yeah,
they don't bring it up often because they don't have his character abuse the privilege.
Yeah,
ever.
I think he might really be the only EVP left too. Like
I don't know.
I think that might actually.
I think the Bucks probably are.
I swear I read something around the time that they were doing the EVP gimmick thing that they had actually stopped being EVPs, but I can't remember where that came from or
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I think that they're probably getting EVP money.
No, I'm sure they're getting that. Yeah, I mean,
no, I mean from the position, not the level of that money. Like I think they've got dual contracts as both executives and talent.
Not possibly. But yeah, so we have so he throws Will Ospreay out of the arena. Well, not out of the arena, but out of the ring area, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they get to the match, and this was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It was your standard, elite party match. Good stuff with a really cool opponent across the way for El Clone, who is just so unique and so entertaining. When the hell is Hologram coming back?
I have no idea.
Can we blow this off, please?
Yeah, like quickly, please. Like
the only reason that he is a clone is because of the character of Hologram. He has no reason to not be just Ares. There's no reason for him not to be that, except that they're waiting around for Hologram to get back so they can blow that off.
Yeah, blow that off. Get that mask off him. Tell him to be who he is, and because he could he's going to be able to get over without the mask.
I mean, as far as I think I remember seeing, he wrestles without the mask as Ares on the independent scene, like he does face paint.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, but he doesn't wear a mask outside of AEW.
Yeah. Which, I mean, now he's getting paid by AEW, so I guess he's gonna wear it as long as they make him.
Yeah.
But they're just waiting for Hologram to come back. But I haven't heard anything about no update on what the injury was in the first place or when he'd be back. So, even not knowing the injury, I can't even speculate. I can't even be like, okay, well, typically this type of injury would take X amount of time, but in this case, I can't. Maybe he shows back up at All In.
Yeah.
It seems to be the place for returns that will and show and be surprises. So. Yeah. We'll see exactly how God, there's just so many on the plate that I don't know which ones we're going to get. And I'm so excited.
Right. The match ends after a whole bunch of awesome stuff. Kenny actually gets Doyle up on his shoulders, big boy up on his shoulders. If it hits the one-winged angel, nobody kicks out of the one-winged angel.
No.
It's done. But then Don Callis family, the rest, all of the guys who didn't have a match, who were still in the Don Callis family, ran down. Plus Archer. It was Archer RPG Vice basically, and they came out and they tried to lay him out, and then Cope and Cage make the save despite their issues with the Bucks. They came out to clear house. Kenny gets a mic and then is immediately cut off by Ospreay, who's still angry from earlier. And Kenny's just like, ugh, God, security, get this guy out of here. And so security escort Ospreay up the ramp as Omega like is being a little baby about it towards him. He makes a comment about his son again, and that's when Ospreay he breaks rank and just like boom, and they go at it, but he runs right into a V trigger, and Omega uses his EVP power to get the security guards out of there. Like, I mean, yeah, he gets physical with a couple of them, but I think it's mostly because he's their boss that it's implied that's like, no, get the hell out of here. I'm telling you to get out of here. Yeah. He tells Ospreay he has one more lesson to teach him, and then gets him up on the apron and hits him with the one-winged angel through a table on the outside.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes ballistic.
Ballistic, dude. Oh, God.
And it's not in favor of Will Ospreay. They may have screwed the pooch on this one.
Maybe a little bit, man.
Like if they had put the belt on Kenny 2 months prior to when they did, I think it might be a more even split. But I think people are just so happy for Kenny, and they know that this is his last run. I don't think they want it to end.
I don't think they wanted to, but I think the reaction is going to be much different in Wembley. So,
it may be. I don't know. I mean, Kenny is very over in England. You know, even like the Wrestle Talk guys and the What Culture guys who cover it, you know, they're all British, right? Mm-hmm. And even just watching them cover it, it's just like, I don't get the sense that they have the allegiance to Will Ospreay that Americans and specifically TK think that they're going to have.
Well, I mean, they're getting a historic moment in British wrestling.
They are.
They need to get with the program. I'm sorry, man. Like
they are. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's just going to be as cut and dry as all that. I think that they still have a week to really cement it. So, I mean, I think they did a really good job of making it personal by him, you know, crossing the line with damn near everybody by bringing up Ospreay's kid. I don't think that there's really a way around justifying him doing that.
No.
So, like, on the face of it, you would have to assume that, oh, okay, Ospreay is being positioned as the good guy here, as the one in the right, as the one who you should be getting behind.
Yeah.
I think the problem in character with Ospreay is that he's getting what he wanted. He said that he wanted the best version of Kenny Omega. Problem is, the best version of Kenny Omega is the cleaner.
Yeah.
And this is the cleaner. This is what he does. He gets in your head. He pushes your buttons. He crosses lines. And then when you're at your most vulnerable, because he made you that way, because he got you unsettled and forced you to make a mistake, he puts you through a table on the outside with a one-winged angel. So, I mean, you saw their first match, right? The Wrestle Kingdom one.
Yeah.
Even in that promo, Ospreay admits that it was like 70-30. Like, it was like, I was bamboozled by that match. I was like absolutely it did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be much more even. I expected Ospreay to win. That didn't happen. I expected it to be pretty even 50-50 split. That didn't happen. Ospreay got his bled buckets and got his ass absolutely thoroughly demolished by Kenny Omega in that match. Did not expect that. at all, especially on Wrestle Kingdom,
Yeah.
their biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were absolutely sowing seeds for later harvest, but
Yeah.
and I guess we're harvesting them right now.
Seems
But
that way.
like, this is the cleaner, man. You said you wanted the best version of Kenny. Be careful what you wish for, or as Swerve said on this episode, don't say it if you don't mean it.
Yeah.
So, or
Yeah,
as you said, fuck around, find out.
Yeah, fuck around, find out, man. That's what's happening.
He definitely is finding out.
This is it was a great episode of Dynamite.
Yeah,
it was
great.
It had me so hyped going.
It absolutely came off, and Collision as well, as episodes of TV that were properly one away from being go home shows.
Yeah,
like this was like the penultimate show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just like, how do you make me more hyped than I already am, though? And that's why I'm so excited for this week's shows, because I'm like, how can I get more hyped?
Yeah.
And I know that Tony Khan's going to figure out a way to do it. You know, he's a wrestling fan of our age. He knows how to make us hype, and he's good at it.
A compelling tournament certainly helps, and that's what opens up Collision.
Yeah.
How about that segue? Yeah. From live, and Collision is always better live. From Reading, Pennsylvania, not that far from Philly, where they had Death Before Dishonor the night before, which apparently, although I didn't watch, but apparently it was another stellar set of matches.
No, it was really good,
yeah. Athena, in the middle of her match, suffered an asthma attack, and nobody realized it until she brought it up after the fact. Nick Wayne, at 21 years old, nearly won the Ring of Honor World title and got a huge endorsement from Bandito afterwards online. This was they ran back a spot basically with Leo Rush playing Sabu and Hook playing his dad. Ran back the Taz Sabu feud with just them. Hook coming out and just messing with Leo, causing him to lose the TV title to Action Andretti.
Yeah,
good for him.
A member of the Ops now.
Maybe.
No, he is
taking pictures with him afterwards.
Yeah,
it's not. They said
promo,
recruiting season.
The ROH promo thing, where they promo the match, said Action Andretti of the Ops.
Ooh.
That's how I knew.
That hasn't made it to Dynamite yet. That's interesting. Good for him. The dude works hard.
Yeah, he works hard. I'd like to see more.
He just hasn't found his thing yet. He just needs to find something that works for him.
Yeah, the water bottle thing wasn't it.
Although that is impressive physically.
It is
physically speaking.
Yes, it is.
It's hard to work that into a wrestling gimmick.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is
hydrated, bruh.
Action Hydretti.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was from Reading, Pennsylvania. Opens up with a really, really interesting match. Orange Cassidy versus Kyle O'Reilly. Quarterfinal match in the Continental Classic Cup. It starts out this match was brilliant in a way, because both this and the previous match that Kyle had with Roddy told the story of the dynamic of his friendship that he has with both of the other guys in the conglomeration.
Mm-hmm.
With Roderick, it's hyper competitive, and it's iron sharpens iron, and we've done this forever and we'll do this forever. This match was very that was Kyle O'Reilly of Paragon in the Undisputed Era. Mm-hmm. This was Kyle O'Reilly from the conglomeration with Orange Cassidy, where it was half of it was comedy wrestling that still made sense.
Yeah.
It was two friends that are going at each other who have a much more laid back, silly relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They start out with some really good, actually, lucha-inspired technical wrestling, where neither one could get an advantage on each other. And then they spent like the second quarter of the match just snap suplexing each other. Like inside the ring, outside the ring, almost getting a double count out at one point. Like, and then, in the middle, like about 3/4 of the way through, that's when Orange gets kind of frustrated and they just pour it on for the last like 5 minutes of this. Orange constantly getting into and out of the ankle lock. But Kyle eventually getting him in the middle of the ring, scissoring the legs, and making Orange Cassidy tap out, which is not something that happens all that often.
No, not at all.
This was a really, really well thought out, interestingly laid out match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great, man.
I don't think it's going to be for everybody.
No,
but
it's not.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the clash of it because, Kyle's just like super proficient techer and striker, and Orange Cassidy's just.
He's Orange Cassidy.
Whatever,
yeah.
And so, I mean, it was an interesting clash of styles. I thought it was fun, but also serious. Like, I was fully prepared for Orange Cassidy to pick up, like, he was like, don't stop my ankle. Because Kyle O'Reilly was definitely about to stop his ankle.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't stop my ankle. But then he rolled him up. And I was like, if you get the win off this roll up, Kyle O'Reilly's going to stand up and punt kick your head off your shoulders. And I was waiting for that to happen. And then he kicked out. And I was like, oh, you lucky motherfucker. If you had pulled some bitch shit like that on your buddy and won that way, he was definitely going to take maybe your whole upper body off your waist.
Yeah.
Like, that was going to happen. And
this
he didn't. So
for people who, if there are still any out there, I haven't heard rumblings in a while. So hopefully these criticisms are over. But for anybody out there who still criticizes AEW for not telling stories, like, look at this match. The story is in the match. That's what wrestling matches are. They're little self-contained stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're part of a bigger thing, sometimes they're not, but they're all stories at the end of the day in and of themselves. And this was a story about two friends and how their relationship, their dynamics work.
Yeah.
And how much they like and respect each other in a way that's equal to but different than the way that Kyle and Roddy have.
Yeah.
Like, we talked last week about how at the end of that match, Roddy just needed a minute, and he pushed Kyle away when Kyle offered to shake his hand.
Mm-hmm.
This one, Kyle got the tap out and immediately goes to check that Orange is okay. And Orange is like, you got me, man. What can I say? Congratulations. It was like just complete different dynamics. I loved that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I adore how real these friendships seem.
Mm-hmm.
Contrast that with the Death Riders, who seem to be following Mox out of a sense of, blindness to a purpose rather than actually liking being around the guy or even really each other, despite how many, jumping huddles they do.
Yeah.
And even then, none of those are with Mox. Have you noticed that? That stuff doesn't happen with Mox. Doesn't join in on those.
No.
He separates himself from that. That's too good time feely bullshit for him. I want to be angry all the time. John Moxley. The good time stuff is for my underlings. It's not for me. Like, I don't bother myself with that. Even Pac, a surly, self-described bastard, he gets in on the jumping huddle thing, but Mox doesn't.
Yeah, never Mox.
Never, ever, ever. Even Marina Shafir,
Marina doesn't.
Whose whole character is that she's pissed off at literally everybody and everything on the face of God's green.
Yeah.
Takes part in that.
Yeah.
But Mox doesn't.
Mox doesn't.
He's above it. Because he sees himself, whether he admits it to them or not, he sees himself as above them.
Yeah. After that match, though, we've got we go backstage after Dynamite, and we've got Nigel McGuinness and Will Ospreay.
I assume this took place after Nigel's match, but before the main event.
I'm assuming so because Will's not, dying in that room.
Yeah.
He's just there. So,
Yeah.
uh, but it's mostly just a pep talk, kind of
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah.
You
Blowing smoke up each other's asses. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Well, not that implies that they don't that they're being disingenuous. I mean, they're both gassing each other up.
Yeah, they're definitely like, Will's like, hey, you inspired me, and Osprey's like, you have the
You
biggest
inspired
opportunity.
me.
Yeah, you have the biggest
Like,
opportunity of British wrestling history, which he's gonna get. This is Tony's thing. Tony likes to make history. He is going to be the first person to crown a British world champion in Britain.
I think too that this was the whole purpose of this was twofold. Number one, to get more sympathy behind Nigel and to show that, yeah, we're committing to him being in the final, regardless of the severity of his injury, whether it's real or not. And secondly, to sign off on, if Nigel signs off on this very British themed quest of Will Ospreay, it's an endorsement, right? It's seen as like, okay, well, Nigel wants this to happen and Nigel is endorsing this. Okay, we should fall in line. So to try and get any of the doubters to kind of to fall in line.
Yeah.
I'm not British. I don't know how well it works. I'm British in blood, but not culturally and not ethnically. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I guess technically I would be British ethnically if it's by blood. I'm like half English, quarter Norman French, and quarter Irish. Or no, half Irish, quarter English. My last name is English. Well, but I'm Irish on both sides.
I mean, I'm a follower of Nigel, and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I understand why they did this, but I was like, this wasn't really for me,
Yeah. I think it was executed well. But like you said, it wasn't really for us. We weren't the target audience of this. This was to try. This was a call to arms for any of the British fans who still weren't behind Ospreay in this match and were more inclined to side with Kenny. Try to entreat them to root for their countrymen over the guy that they'll probably never see again wrestle on British soil. Because I think that I think it might be Kenny Omega's last year. Maybe. I think that's why they put the title on him. I think that's why he's the one doing the job to Ospreay specifically. I mean, he definitely has way less road ahead of him than he has behind him. So
yeah, by far. After that, though, we've got this is where we got our condor. This is definitely our
condor. These are our condors.
Okay.
Poor Erica Lee and Tiara James.
I'm not really familiar with Tiara James, but I know Erica Lee is the Outrunners crazy valet chick.
Oh, is that who she is?
Yeah,
I thought I recognized her.
So, I was
she hasn't been with them for so long that I didn't recognize her.
But yeah, I remember that's who that was. And I was like, oh, well, cool. At least I know who one of these people is, beforehand. But then I was like, oh, it's a 5 minute. No, this is going to go like a minute and a half tops. And I was right.
Yep. I did like what they did with it, though. It proves once again that it's not how much time you have, it's what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They spent it, yes, once again proving their dominance, but they used the Brawling Birds' signature moves in the match. And poorly, but they did them.
I was about to say, I think that would have been more heat effective if they had done them correctly, but they
didn't. Lena didn't.
She tried to jump up, making her ass, not over her.
Yeah, she pushed Tiara James instead of, like a leaping push or almost like a shoulder block, but with her hands instead of a lariat, a leaping clothesline or whatever it is. It's like, okay, well, that actually kind of works to a degree. You can explain it away. They're heels. They're arrogant heels. They're not going to take the time. They're going to take the time to use them to mock their upcoming opposition, but they're not going to take the time to bother to get it right.
Right.
You can you can at least explain it away in kayfabe, even if the truth is probably just, they just didn't do it well. They didn't practice it enough. No. Whatever. That said, that's our Giant Condor. I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Dose of George Strait for the week.
After that, we've got backstage vignette from Jack Perry talking about how we've got Swerve versus Jack Perry at Dynamite in Glasgow.
I am interested in that match.
I am too, but I have a feeling that Jack Perry is going to take another L.
Oh, yeah, totally. No. Jack Perry's not winning that.
No, not a chance.
Swerve's getting gassed up for the trios.
But it makes me wonder
with the trios.
What's the point of this? He's taking on giants and can't catch a dub at all. Like, he's like, I can walk with you guys, but all of you are going to whoop my ass.
I don't think all of them will. I think enough of them will so that when he gets the win on one of them, it's a bigger deal. I think they're building up to whoever he's going to win against. So, obviously he's going to lose to Swerve. He's probably going to lose to, I don't know, Adam Page. He's going to lose to, I don't know, probably MJF. But he might win against Andrade.
Oh, I doubt that very seriously.
I mean, I'm just throwing names out,
Yeah.
It's just he's gonna pick up a win eventually, but I think he's gonna have to get some losses against these guys and sow some doubt so that the win means more when it comes.
Well, right now it's gonna mean a lot because he's already getting his ass beaten. This week ain't gonna be
or alternatively, this is when the New Day debuts. They help Swerve win, and then Perry gets, maybe Luchasaurus is healthy again, and I don't know, get Marco Stunt back for a bit. I don't know. Why not? Who cares?
I want Marco Stunt back just to see what would happen with him and Shane Taylor and within 10 feet of each other. Like,
yeah. It's like
or Leo could come out and be like, hey, he's my size.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Like Hornswoggle running into the Liberty Bell. Like,
yeah, right. He is bottom heavy spoken.
Yeah, he is.
Complimentary, guys, okay? But, like, come on, you can't lie to me and try to tell me that Shane Taylor.
Respect to Mark Davis, but the real Dunkzilla is Shane Taylor.
It's Shane Taylor, yeah. Because he's big all the way down, man. Like, godly.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
maybe he's King Dunk Dora or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Shane Tushy Promotions. But yeah, so after that, we've got a medical update on Darby Allin. They didn't. He nearly suffered a broken neck.
Nearly.
So what they're telling me is that he's probably got some like muscular bruising. I mean, I will tell you now, the muscular bruising that comes from not breaking a bone, like where your muscles actually did protect the bone the way they're supposed to, and they took the brunt of the impact and it didn't break the bones that were behind it. I've been in several situations like that, namely with my ribs. And I can tell you for a fact that if it's hard enough to like almost break, but not break your shit, the muscles around it, it takes them out. They're out. They're gone. I just bruised my ribs from my armpit to my hip. It didn't break the ribs. It bruised all the outside of everything. I couldn't breathe or walk straight for like 4 weeks.
Oof,
Like it
that's
will like
rough.
so if what they're saying is true and that he nearly got a broken neck, he absolutely cannot turn his head still anyway. Like that is he's not turning his head left and right like a regular person does. It's not happening.
But
Um,
if it's a kayfabe injury,
it is
eh,
absolutely a kayfabe injury, unless Darby finally actually did get hurt doing one of his crazy things that he fucking does. But I don't think that's I find him quite indestructible. I've seen tons of
yeah,
like
for
I don't
somebody who doesn't have much body fat or muscle mass to absorb a lot of impact, he is surprisingly durable.
yeah. Based on what I've seen in the past, no, I don't think this took him out at all. I think I think we may even because of how much he hates Kevin Knight, we may even see the return of opponent makes entrance, Darby Allin shoots out of nowhere like a cannonball to start destroying opponent immediately. No entrance at
Yeah,
all. Like we might go right
yeah.
back to that, and I would be okay with that. I know Tony Khan likes to do big entrances at All In, but what's more Darby than not having an entrance at all, just coming out of like you were shot out of a cannon from somewhere? In fact, this is All In. Let's actually shoot him out of a cannon.
Better idea. How about you have Kevin Knight making his entrance? He's lingering on the stage, and you get Darby Allin dropping from the ceiling right on top of Kevin Knight as he's on the stage.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like
Better
land on
yet,
his shoulders,
if you could
unhook,
do it,
Hurricanrana.
if you
Yeah.
could do it safely, and I really, really stress that.
Stress
But
safely.
if
Yeah.
if you could figure out a way to do it safely, have him abduct him, have him drop down, grab him, harness him somehow, and take him back up into the air.
Oh yeah.
How awesome would that be?
That would be awesome.
I don't think anything like that in wrestling has ever been done before.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
so.
think that would be freaking amazing.
The,
Have him wrap him up in some kind of harness and then choke him out while he's up there.
Wembley doesn't have a roof in the middle, does it?
No, but I mean the
Okay.
whatever stage they construct, you could
Yeah.
make a scaffold that you could do that from. I imagine.
Well, I was just wondering about that because I was like, how does Sting make his entrance into this match to make the save from the Don Callis family? There's no fucking roof.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, I mean, from the staging, you could absolutely do that. And you could even build it to be more safe than just a random girder in the roof of a fucking venue.
Yeah. I think that would be just
it would be
the
rad.
coolest thing.
It would be cool. It would be cool. I'm not sure.
But it's waste. Don't do it if Darby is going to lose, though.
Yeah,
don't
no,
waste
he has
the
to
cool
win.
stuff on. He has to win if you're going to do something cool like that. He has to win.
I think Darby has to win anyway to continue fraying the threads of the Don Callis family.
I think you're right, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
We will. We will. We're very close to that, folks. I know we keep teasing it. We're
Yep.
totally going to get into this in a second. We're going to let it all.
Yeah, we're
out.
actually going through quicker than we normally do, so I'm excited.
Yeah. We're doing that on
Claudio
purpose. We want to talk about All In.
Claudio Castagnoli
Claudio
versus
Daniel Garcia was one of my favorite matches of this fucking week, dude.
Oh, I love the story they told here too.
This was so like Daniel was. You could tell he was nervous. He was like, "Oh shit, what did I get myself into?"
He brought back the dance.
Yeah, he did. I love the way they did it too.
And he popped sword.
Oh, dude, it was such a huge pop. Like Daniel Garcia turning face on the Death Riders could be a thing based on that pop alone.
See, when I was watching with my wife and I was saying, I didn't know who was winning. I was watching on delay, but I managed to avoid spoilers. Mm-hmm. So I was saying, now that Danny is in this to replace Eddie Kingston, God, Eddie, get better, get healthy.
Yeah. What happened? Do you know? I have no idea what happened.
I still don't know the nature of his injury.
Okay.
But was it ROH TV or was it Death Before Dishonor? Either way, earlier this week on Ring of Honor, one of the shows, they had Adam Priest lose to Daniel Garcia to qualify for Kingston's spot. And so, get well soon, Eddie, first and foremost.
Well, Eddie. Yeah.
I would urge you at this point to get healthy and take whatever backstage job that TK offers you. Ask for more money, but accept the job.
Yeah, I still feel like we got a couple of good years. Like Eddie, if Eddie can't, like, if we don't want him getting hurt in wrestling, maybe not so often. which he hasn't really been that like until we got to this tournament, we weren't really
It's
seeing a lot of Eddie.
Yeah, it was.
But
He'd been doing a lot of Ring of Honor. Apparently, at his request, he wanted to kind of get back into it. He'd just come off this other injury. He didn't feel quite like himself, and he wanted to basically resharpen his skills.
I wonder if he somehow aggravated something related to the previous injury.
Maybe I don't know. I know all I know is that he is injured. I do not know the nature of the injury. I don't know if any details about that have actually come out. Yeah. If they have, I haven't heard them.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't need to.
That may be updated by the time this gets posted. I don't know.
Mostly because I don't really need to hear too many details about it mostly because it's private shit, But like, also, and I don't think I'm breaking any hearts here by saying this, but at Eddie's age, and as long as he's been in this business, we will never see him at 100% again. No. We are long past the time. Like once you start getting gray in your hair, unless you are a severely premature gray person, you're not. If you are a full-time professional wrestler like Eddie is and has been for at least 20 years, you're not 100%, and you never will be again. And that's just the very real, very sad reality of the wrestling business is that once you get to a certain point, you will never fully recover. You'll live your entire life in pain. And most of the guys who've done it to that point will tell you it was worth every fucking second. But the truth of the matter is Eddie may be running, if he's fully recovered, quote unquote, and cleared by a doctor, quote unquote, he might be 70, 80%. Like we're never going to get 100% Eddie Kingston again because of his age and because of how long he's been doing this. And that's true with everyone. Same with Kenny. It's going to start affecting Will as the years go on, especially with the neck surgery. Everybody you love, if they continue to wrestle, they're going to end up like Tanahashi. That's what I'll say. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. True. But I love Eddie, and I want, and we all know if you go back all the way to the beginning of this show, I was not always an Eddie Kingston fan. I was very much who is this portly loudmouth New Yorker who doesn't look like he can beat up anybody? I'm very differently minded about Eddie Kingston now. One thing I do believe 100% for sure is that he has a wealth of knowledge to pass on to younger generations of wrestlers about a style of wrestling, specifically King's Road, that is not prevalent these days. I can pick a King's Road match. I picked one out in a show in Dynamite. A King's Road match happened at Dynamite. I can pick them out because I'm very familiar with 1980s Japanese wrestling and the King's Road style of wrestling. But a lot like Eddie is, that's one of the reasons why I kind of like him, because the more I find out about him, the more we have in common. But nobody does you don't really see King's Road anymore. The type of people who do it, they'll pin it back to a wrestler, maybe a generation, maybe two back. They're not going all the way back to Misawa and people like that, like Eddie is. And who Eddie had an opportunity to learn from a lot of those people directly. So by God, if you are a young guy coming into ROH, even for a clinic, if you are an independent wrestler out there looking for a clinic, you find fucking Eddie Kingston and you go. Pay the 50, 60, $100, whatever it is, you fucking go. If he ever does clinics, you fucking go. That is a guy who definitely needs to be backstage imparting his wisdom to the younger guys at ROH and other indies, places like that. Like, he has so much more to give to this business. He can stop giving his body to it now.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
And that's not being that I don't feel like I'm being disrespectful to Eddie in any way. By saying it's okay if you stop, dude. I would love to see you wrestle some more, but it's totally okay if you stop.
Yeah. I still want him to be the one that brings Mox back around eventually. I feel like he's really the only one who
I already feel like we're overdue
can
for that.
And should.
Yeah, I feel like we're already overdue for that. I feel like like I feel like when he first came back, he should have been the harbinger of the Death Riders.
I think that, I mean, it wouldn't be the same. But I think that prior to his injury, he was probably slated to win this match, so that we got Mox and Kingston again.
I believe that may have been the case. I do. And
But as that goes back to what I was saying earlier with, when I was talking with my wife as we were watching this duo of matches here with Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli and Daniel Garcia made for some very interesting matchups before we knew the winners and who they would go on to face and stuff like that. It's like, if you have Claudio win, you do Claudio versus Mox, right? Because Death Rider was the only I mean, it wasn't the only combination. This was that combination too. But like it put Mox in an uncomfortable position where he had to defend against somebody who had more or less recently beat him in the Continental Classic last year in the opening rounds, the group stage.
The group stage, yeah.
If you have Danny win it, that can be the start of a babyface turn. I was thinking, like, if you have him upset Claudio here, then what you do is you have him go face Mox and have the only blowout of this tournament and have Mox obliterate him in retaliation for beating Claudio. Where, it all seems like we're all, on each other's side until you cross the boss. And then that gains some sympathy behind Danny Garcia and starts maybe, a turn there or whatever. Or at the very least, starts kind of a mini feud against Claudio.
Yeah.
And if you had, I felt like it's interesting what they did, because they did have Claudio go over here and then be in a later backstage segment, be a lot more interested in the fact of, in the prospect of facing Mox than Mox was in facing Claudio.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was still a missed opportunity to be like, because let's be real here, the Death Riders don't really have a purpose.
No.
And they haven't had one for a year. Like, it was clearer what their purpose was when Mox was the champion and making people, run through. I mean, as bad as, the constant interferences and everything was, make people run through, jump through hoops to get a chance at the belt that wasn't being shown for 7 months because it was in a briefcase. That at least they had a purpose. The reason that we were so gung-ho on Mox losing the belt and then what he did afterwards was because, okay, this is where we end this. This is how we break up the cult. And it's been a year now, and Mox has been treading water. Like, his Continental Championship reign hasn't been awful. He's had good defenses. The matches have been good. Some of the feuds were pretty okay. Not like, over the top, but pretty okay. And then they did the thing with Will, which was at times very captivating. And then they dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what do you... Okay, like, where are we going now? Like, it stopped abruptly in a way that made sense, but like to the point it was like, well, what all was that even for then? Because Will didn't beat Moxley. He's going on to win the world title. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks that they're going to address that and fix that, and I'll get to that in the in the Call in the Ring segment. But I think that, like, they're just, treading water at this point. Like, to me, I would be overjoyed if Mox lost the belt to Nigel, because at least then it would be on somebody who could do something interesting with the belt.
Yeah.
You don't have these year-long reigns in between tournaments, I think the Continental title could use a little bit of a shakeup in terms of maybe some shorter reigns thrown in there just for a little bit of variety.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like too.
Anyway, this match was rocking.
Yeah.
He tried to, Garcia tried to hit the neutralizer 3 times, did finally get it, but I thought that was the finish. I
thought it
bid
was
on
too.
that hard. I was
Yeah.
like, yes, no. Finish did come when Castagnoli, after getting really kind of out grappled throughout this match by Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
You know, he was literally a monkey on his back, choking him out at several points during this match. But as soon as Castagnoli was targeting the knee, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
He did a giant swing with one leg and pulling on that knee and the ligaments there. That had to have hurt like just hell.
Oh yeah.
Like the giant swing probably doesn't hurt except the landing when you do it with both feet, because you know the torque is evened out, it's stabilized. When you're doing it with one, all of that pressure and that torque is on that ankle and on that knee, and that's got to be, you got to be able to make sure you do that safely, or else you are tearing an ACL.
Yeah.
He did that
when he did the first swing. I was like, oh, at least Pac's not there to kick him at the end.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, oh god, he still figured out a way to make the swing fucking awful.
Yep. And then he hit the pop. What was it? It was a running uppercut off the ropes into the ropes.
Was a
right?
gnarly ass running uppercut. Yeah.
What was it? They got that for a 2 count, and then you hit him with a bunch of moves, including the Ricola bomb. Eventually, he tapped him out with a sharpshooter, but with the one ankle, it was a sharpshooter ankle lock combo is what it was. And he immediately tapped once he started torquing the ankle.
Yeah.
And
he slammed that hand down on his foot and just,
And then he just left.
Yeah.
Didn't say good job, didn't pat him on the back, didn't say nice match. He just up and left him. What a cold, bad mofo.
Yeah.
That was just mean.
Yeah. After that, we go backstage, and the dogs are, Gabe Kidd is admonishing the dogs for pissing around like puppies, basically, while he's been gone. And then they declare themselves for this Trios Titles Challenge. So they will also be meeting Hangman Page at the Arch, officially, even though we kind of knew that already from the segment on Dynamite. And then after that, we did the draw for the finals of the Continental Classic Challenge, or the Continental Cup Challenge. Challenge Cup. Golly, I'm never going to get that right. But they announced that we have Nigel versus Kyle and Mox versus Claudio. And I'm excited for both of those matches.
Yeah, that's going to rock. Both of those matches are going to just be aces.
Yeah. Then after that,
I expect it to be Nigel versus Mox. I don't really see any other combination but that actually making it to Wembley.
Yeah. After that, we've got a trios match with Hurt Syndicate and Lee Moriarty versus I don't know who these guys are, any of them.
Ryan O'Neal, Nick Nolan, and Matt Mako.
Yeah, I guess.
Is what I've got down here.
Victims is what we will call them.
Yeah.
Victim 4, 5, and 6 now. But yeah, they basically just like, of course, Hurt Syndicate comes out, they make these guys into victims, and they leave again. Hey, you're out of money for your time. First of all, where is Shane Taylor getting the money to pay them week after week? And how much is he paying them for 2 minutes? Because I got to get into that racket. Holy shit. But after they leave, and then Moriarty basically further victimizes them to get the win by himself against these 3 guys. And then afterwards, Shane Taylor gets, the mic, and he sticks around. He's like, hey, we're going to do an open challenge for a trios match. So it's the Infantry and Shane Taylor, and they're answered by the Bang Bang Gang, which turns out to be a really fucking bad idea for Shane Taylor. to have even
Yeah,
had this challenge because, of course, you get Jay White and the Guns, which are a well-oiled trio, and literally and figuratively. Um,
yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. And I mean, the match was more competitive than I anticipated. So good for STP on that.
yeah,
They didn't just make a chat. They didn't Jonathan Cruz STP.
no, they didn't.
You know, it was competitive. But yeah, they hit the 310 to Yuma on Shane Taylor, which was impressive in and of
That was
itself.
impressive. Yeah,
And then Jay White came in and hit a Blade Runner on Carly Bravo for the win.
yeah. I believe that we are now getting the Bang Bang Gang also as part of this trios thing,
Yeah, I don't
and
know what they're
Shane
going to
Taylor
call it.
Promotions.
Some trios invitational or whatever they're going to call it. I don't know.
Something trios chaos.
Some kind of I don't know what format it's going to take.
I don't either, but there's so many teams, that look like they're going to be part of it that I'm like, what
I'm
are they
glad they're
going to
getting
do?
on the show
Yeah, me too. Me
because
too.
the more people who are in this match means that the more people can be in the gauntlet match.
Yeah. Uh, After that, and I have some theories about this specific version of trios that we just saw. So, um, after that, though, we go backstage with Lexi Nair. She's with the conglomeration, um, you know, Willow included. And, she congratulates everybody. And O'Reilly's like, I knew this would test me, but I drew my two best friends in the first two rounds. And now only Nigel stands between me and Wembley, which I don't know if you're getting to Wembley, bud. Sorry. I mean, you are.
Oh, he'll get
Not
there,
like
but
that.
he'll
Not like that.
not be in that match.
No. And then Willow, kind of does the rundown, and she hopes Mercedes is watching because she's still smiling, and
Yep.
that's pissing Mercedes off. Um. Then after that, we've got one of the one of my favorite things about AEW. One of my favorite things that AEW does that makes you definitely know that this is like a AAA top of their game. Fucking, this is like something that you need to really pay attention to because there's a shitload of lore here. And here's a 10-minute video on all of that lore.
Yeah. And it was voiced by Ian Riccaboni, too,
Which I love.
who's the perfect guy to do it. He was on comms here.
He was on comm here, yeah.
Because they were in Pennsylvania and they could get him. Doesn't have any PTA meetings on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he it was basically, like you said, a lore video detailing the major points of the saga between Osprey and Omega, and it was really, really well done.
It was it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. There was a couple things in there that I hadn't really. I mean, I knew all the stuff, but I would like. It was nice to have a refresher because it's been going on for so long. Like it was nice to kind of like put it together. Like, oh yeah, like there's this big match at Wembley, but there's really way more history that. Like, if you had just picked this feud up when Kenny won the title,
yeah,
like you don't understand, and now
right.
This is a good way for even casuals to kind of get a good idea of what's happening here. After that, we had a really weird tag team match.
Yeah. Franken tag team match. Yeah.
Yeah. With Ciampa and Nick Wayne against Commander and Mike Bailey.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to see any of these tag teams ever again. And that's not a bad thing. I thought the match was great. It's just,
lots of cool stuff. I mean, it was definitely pedal to the metal from the get.
Oh yeah.
They didn't, it was mostly a showcase for Nick Wayne, who like I said, just came off the losing effort against Bandito for the world title in Ring of Honor. But kid's 21 and he's like this. You and I, we've been discussing this basically all week. Like the kid has got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
The kid's got.
He's a future world champion, but he's going to run through every other. Like Tony likes to do this, man. He's going to build a guy all the way from the TNT title to the world title.
He might have him be the first guy to win every single singles belt before he makes it there.
If it ain't Kyle Fletcher, that is.
Moxley only has the TNT left.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Moxley's going to go down to the TNT title.
Oh well, actually, there's the national title too.
Yeah. Well, now there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I don't know, like we've seen this happen. A guy comes in, he's young, he's fresh, he's really good. He wins the TNT championship, and then he's the international champion, and he's absolutely going to be the world champion one day. And now we got another guy on that exact same path who needs to immediately be the next TNT champion. I am sorry, Kevin Knight.
We discussed this online with some friends of ours. I feel like you have, regardless of who wins the TNT title match at All In, I feel you have him defend it the next week on Wednesday and shock lose it to Nick Wayne. And you can do that with Nick Wayne either as a heel against Darby or as a babyface against Kevin Knight. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter, no.
He's got history with both of them. He can work it, because, they all came from that, his dad's camp. So, he's got that background. He can, you could even say that, if it was against Kevin Knight, it's like, I saw you before you were you. I was studying you before you ever made your debut, man. Who knows you better than I do? And you never would have thought. You never would have given me any mention or notice.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that there are possibilities here. And I think Nick Wayne would be a great TNT champ.
Yeah. A really great match, but Ciampa and Nick Wayne pick up the win here.
In fact, Nick Wayne is the one who beats Commander with the what does he call it? With the Fisherman Buster.
Wayne's World, I think.
No, that's the springboard cutter out of the corner. What's it called? The Prodigy Plex.
Oh, the Prodigy Plex, yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. Afterwards, Ciampa, who earlier had said, this is just business. This is, we were booked this way. This is, we're not friends or whatever. We just go in there and we do what we want. It looked like Ciampa was gonna, and Ciampa, to be fair, is positioned higher up on the card than Nick Wayne is. It looked like, that was positioned to be like, I'm the guy in charge. And then Nick Wayne is the one who picks up the win.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I like that.
If you let that run, we could get a freaking Gargano Ciampa level feud out of those two guys.
Yeah, I be really, really interested in
if they just let it run to a blood feud, they could get real. It would be amazing. They're both so high octane in different ways that it would just it would be balls to the wall for months. It would be so good.
For sure.
Man, it would be. Yeah, if I'm booking that show, Tony Khan, take this idea for free. Don't even write me a check. Just because I would enjoy watching it so much. Fucking put these two guys in a feud. Make Nick Wayne the face, and then have him win the TNT title after he beats Ciampa. I don't really want Ciampa to be beaten a feud, but because I want him to go win the national title or the international title. I would love to see him feud with Andrade for the national title. That'd be a great,
that would be so good.
But
the matches would be incredible.
Yeah, but he's going to be feuding with MJF mainly to keep MJF off the world title. I think that's how that's going to work. Because I don't think either of those guys is going to win the gauntlet. We'll talk about that here in a minute. After that, directly after that, we had a little, or no, it was before. I guess it was before this, was it? No, I thought it was at the end of this match. Oh, yeah. We have a little video about the international championship match where we've got, Kyle Fletcher and Okada and Takeshita.
A little refresher. Yep.
Yeah, a little refresher on them. Not as in-depth as the Omega Ospreay one, but enough of a refresher that everybody remembers, oh, yeah, there's 3 guys in this match.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, every major pay-per-view like this has to have one 3-way. It's been like a formula in wrestling for 40 years. People are like, oh, that's something Vince McMahon started. No, it's not. It's something that fucking Jim Crockett started, if you want to be perfectly honest about it, and everybody does it now.
Yeah, they used to call them triangle matches back.
In the day. Triangle of death matches at one point, and then because I remember back when they started doing it in Crockett, in the early, probably mid or late 80s, they were calling them the triangle of death because they were playing up because you remember at the time you couldn't throw a guy over the top rope and stupid shit like that. It was really they were really very anti high flyer, and they were calling them the triangle of death because there were no rules. Once you add an extra guy to a 2-man match,
what are you
the
going to do?
rule,
Disqualify somebody?
there are no more rules. There's no rope breaks. There's no countouts because there's 3 fucking guys. Yeah. And it's the same for like, that's why when I see matches where like you got like the face in peril and it's a trios, you know, a 3-way match and they go and reach for the rope. Like, why are you fucking doing that?
No DQs.
Why are you doing that? The referee can't tell him to get off you. And then sometimes the referee will be like, hey, break it up. And I'm like, no.
Why? No. I'm
like,
glad you and I are on the same page with this.
Who taught you the fucking rules?
I think that's one of the dumbest things. Like, I feel like it's out of habit more than anything else. But like I feel it's one of the dumbest thing about triple threat matches is that like there's no DQs. What are you gonna do? Count to 5 and then what? Like if it's an elimination match, it's a completely different story.
Yes.
But if it's just a straight up 3-way, no.
Yeah. No.
One fall to one finish, no. By the very nature, there are no DQs, and you extrapolate that out. That means that you can't get disqualified for holding a rope for 5 seconds, which means the whole rope break concept doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
The only way that you can make that work is if you have them reach the rope in order to gain leverage to break the hold.
Yes.
Then it makes sense. But to involve the referee in that scenario doesn't make any sense.
So now I'm going to say this for real. I've been on both sides of that equation. Okay. When I was a very young referee, very new to the business, I was refereeing a fucking feud-ending blood feud fucking ladder match, my very first ladder match. And the face, while he was in a submission move like that, hey, he's like, he literally grabbed me up. He's like, are you going to ask me? And I'm like, you got to get to the fucking top of the ladder and grab the belt. Like, he can't beat you like this. So I'm not even going to ask.
Yeah.
And then he went for the rope and he was like, because of what he had said to me, when he went for the rope, I started counting and he was like, it's a ladder match. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So I've made that mistake before, but I was in my very first major blow off match as a referee, maybe 3 or 4 months into the business. Or into being a referee, that maybe a year and a half into the business. If I'm watching you referee a match on TV, motherfucker, definitely should not be. If you're making $100K a year doing this, you should not be making that fucking mistake. And everybody makes mistakes, but making them twice is stupid. And I guarantee you made that mistake as a rookie. So don't, like if I'm watching you and you're getting paid an amount of money I would love to be paid to do that. And getting to travel all over the fucking world and referee matches and do awesome shit.
Yeah.
Please don't fuck it up by not understanding the basic rules of this business. And I know some companies' rules are different than others. That's always been that way. But there's a pretty standard set of rules when it comes to like the number of people in matches and how they work. And once you have your 2-person match, there's DQs. You add a guy, any number of guys. Yeah. That all goes out the window. You're not telling people, oh, well, you got to get a rope break in the Royal Rumble. You have 28 extra motherfuckers in that match. You would know there are not, you got 8 referees for that match.
Yeah. That's why you see them, at least a couple outside the ring.
2 on hard cam, 2 on soft. Yep. At least 2 back watching the monitors on the in-ears saying, hey, that guy just went over the top rope. Make sure you catch that.
Yeah.
Because they're watching like 6 monitors with all the different camera angles and shit on them. You definitely got at least 8 guys on that match as referees. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why the WWE referee cadre is bigger than like 5. Because they would only need like 5, 6 guys if they didn't have a Royal Rumble match and a couple other things like Elimination Chamber and shit like that every year. Like you got to have a bunch of referees for shit like that. You just do. Because like in like a Hell in the Cell match or any match featuring Mick Foley, you had to have at least 2 guys on the fire extinguisher, So, I've been that guy before in matches where like I was told beforehand, like, hey man, we're going to light this table on fire. And then the head referee walks up and hands me a fire extinguisher. And I was like, oh, so this is my job. Okay. He's like, yeah, just stand there. And once shit gets on fire, come in and put it out. And I failed miserably at that job. And I'll tell you why I failed miserably at that job. 1, I didn't put the fire out because it was done with alcohol and lighter fluid, and it went up really quickly and went out really quickly. 2, those dumb fucks did not bother to do the spot where they unlocked the cage door before they set each other on fire. I'm not going to name them, but the video's out there, and you can clearly see that my ass with the fire extinguisher in my hand cannot get in the ring because the door's still fucking locked.
Oh my God.
So that was
How
on
do you
YouTube, guys. And if you're listening, you know who I'm talking. You know it's you I'm talking about. Uh,
how do you not?
I don't. They're not. Dude,
How
it
do you
was
care so little for your safety that you forget that very,
bet
very
they
important
were.
fact?
I'm going to say this right now. It was a bloody, terrible, awful match that involved fire and chairs and barbed wire and old school shots, unprotected headshots, and all kinds of good shit like that. And the two guys who were in that match were best fucking friends and still are best fucking friends. And they were just having a great time. They really were. Like, I mean, they were back in the back, burnt to a fucking crisp, bleeding all over the place, laughing their asses off. Just happened. They had the best time in there, but they completely, like, when I told them I couldn't put you out because I couldn't get in the ring, one of them goes, "Oh, fuck, we forgot to open the door," and just started laughing. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, don't make that mistake. Like, if you're getting paid to do this shit, don't fucking
Yeah.
DQ somebody in the middle of a fucking multi-man match. Anyway, back to where we were. Death Riders are talking about the Continental Cup Challenge draw.
Well, Wheeler is.
Well, Wheeler is, and
Wheeler's
Wheeler
like,
says it sucks.
yeah. He's like, oh yeah, so it sucks because only one of us can make it through, and blah blah blah. And then Mox stands up and he's like, shut up.
Shut. And he just walks off.
And then Claudio gets up and he's like, sucks for who? It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, are you shitting on Daniel and Mox
Wheeler,
at the same time? Because that's what it sounds like.
And then Wheeler, who's just at this point probably trying to, as you know, trying to mitigate some of the awkwardness, turns to Danny, who's on his back, icing his knee. He's like, "How you feel, man?" Like, sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't know, man. Like, so first of all, Wheeler, what did you expect? That Mox and Claudio were just gonna randomly draw all the way up till it was them two in the finals? Because at one point or another, only one of y'all is walking away from this tournament.
It's different, right? It's different than it was in the C2 last year. Because in the group stage, you can recover by beating other guys. It's not an elimination tournament.
No,
this is your one and done. So if Claudio beats him this time, he's no longer the Continental Champion. They vacated up until the point where All In is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they crown a new champion with him versus either Nigel or Kyle, presumably Nigel. So,
well, I have my theory about this, but we'll get there.
Very soon.
Very soon. We're almost done with this show because I believe this is the main event, which is also one of my favorite matches of the week. We got Willow Nightingale versus Maya World, and I feel like Maya World turned the volume up real hard in this match.
And I think it was because Willow pushed her, because Willow was in control of much of this.
Oh yeah, she was definitely flexing.
I think she did that specifically to frustrate Maya, really, truly, so that she came back at her, to test her and see if she would come back with that fire, and she passed that test.
Yeah. The only criticism, I'll put it this way, this match was 5-star level. If it was given 10, 15 more minutes, it could easily be justified as a 5-star match. It had TV time, a little bit of overrun, but not a lot. But the reason I say that though is because I thought it was really good, and the only real criticism I have of this match, and I think it's valid, but it's the only good faith real criticism that I could possibly have about this match, is that Maya World should have never successfully done her finisher.
Yeah, no, I agree. They have a problem with that in AEW. Is they don't protect their finishers as much as they should. And I know that that's you can kind of look at that as kind of an old school, outdated mentality. And I understand the reason for that. But the reason that it's old and outdated is because people insist on kicking out of stuff. And I blame Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock.
Yeah.
I blame
Yeah.
them because at WrestleMania X7, the biggest WrestleMania of the biggest boom period in WWE history up until very, very recently, they built their entire match, their main event match at that show, one of the most watched WWE shows of all time, around being so needing the title so bad that they were kicking out of each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Their best stuff, even each other's stuff, best stuff. So, I mean, this kind of stuff had been happening in Japan anyway. Like, finishers aren't really finishers in Japan so much as they are signature moves that they often, but not always, win with. It's a different kind of mentality. It's like Ronda Rousey in the UFC. She was known for the armbar, but she had a couple of knockout victories too.
Yeah.
Like, so her armbar would be her New Japan finish, but it means something different. So, but that hadn't really, the internet wasn't huge yet. It wasn't, as influential as it is now. We didn't have YouTube in 2001.
Yeah.
So that you could see a whole bunch of Japanese guys being dropped on their heads and no selling it. And taking backdrop drivers and dragon suplexes and, whatever, and no selling it. It was that match that got the ball rolling. And so now everybody wants to recreate that moment. So everybody's kicking out of everybody's finish. That's why when Kenny hits that one-winged angel, it's done. It's done. Nobody kicks out of that. The only person that's kicked out of that in AEW, I believe, I don't think even Hangman's done it.
I don't think so.
I think it was Mox. I think Mox was the only guy who had kicked out of it, which is annoying, but makes sense. I think. I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I am. But, I mean, when he hits that one-winged angel, it's over. And that when he hits the one-winged angel in the main event at Wembley Stadium, people are going to think it's over. And then when he kicks out, Will Ospreay's going to get an enormous pop because they put the equity, into protecting that finisher so that when somebody kicks out, it's not expected.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that reaction and you get that surge of adrenaline from the audience. So the false finish means something.
Yeah.
Like, we watch a company where 4 orange punches doesn't even put down Jon Moxley. I would have preferred for Maya to not have hit it. I still would have liked to see her go for it because it's impressive seeing her pick up Willow, who is quite a bit bigger than she is, and still be able to pull it off. But what I would have liked to have seen her do is try to attempt it, but wind up just not being able to get the bridge because she had sold an injury from earlier in the match. That's what I would have done. She wouldn't have been able to hold the bridge. Like, if you want to see her hit it and get the bridge and have her not be able to hold the pin and the pin being broken up because she lets go of it because she can't hold the bridge so that Willow doesn't have to kick out, that way you protect both of them. Like, that's what I would have booked.
Yeah.
But it's not what we got. I hate the backslide. You know this. But I see its utility for Willow specifically. We talked earlier about, how somebody, when they cradle somebody out of nowhere or whatever, it protects both people to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So if, this protects Maya because it seems fluky. There was a backslide instead of the Babe with the Power Bomb, which she didn't hit. Maya didn't kick out of the Babe with the Power Bomb because she never got put in it, which is how you protect it and protect her at the same time. Again,
Yeah.
everybody, she's still a champion, and you're still building her. She needed to lose this match. There was that thread that you needed to wrap up here, saying that she was going to get a title shot, but she's still the TBS champion, so she has to lose, but she shouldn't look weak in doing so. So having it be the fluky way instead of the definitive way serves to do that. So I wish it was something different than a backslide, but the finish in principle was the right way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, good. It was a good collision. Good week of wrestling.
Oh man, yeah, really good week.
Really good.
I think Collision and Dynamite were both great in different ways. Collision had the better wrestling. Dynamite definitely had the better angles.
Yeah. Yeah. That
But
Willow
that's
one
usually
really,
the case.
yeah. That Willow one was really good, man.
Yeah.
It's sticking with me. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, you know what time it is. We've been ramping up to this the entire episode.
It's time to do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
That's right. We're going to talk about All In. We're going to make some predictions, but we're also going to say what we would like to see happen.
Yeah.
So I
our
think
predictions are what we think will happen.
What we think will happen and what we want to happen.
And what we want
Not
to
in
happen.
that order, though.
Maybe wildly different things.
Yeah. What we want to happen should probably be the thing that we discuss first when going over each match, I think.
Yeah, probably. I've got what we know of the card here.
Yep. I've got it up as well. So let's take it from... all right. Let's get the big schmozzy thing out of the way first. We know that there's going to be some kind of trios invitational multi-team match.
Yeah.
Hangman Adam Page, Brody King, Bandito will defend the trios title against a bunch of people. We've got the Dogs throwing in there. We've got the Bang Bang Gang throwing in there. We've got the Demand throwing in there. We've got Swerve and his buddies, whatever they're going to call that group. It's the former New Day. We pretty much figured it. I don't know what format this is going to take. I imagine it's probably going to be some kind of free-for-all. Some kind of...
I don't know. Thing or something?
Yeah, like there are too many teams that are in this to have corners to wait in.
Yeah.
So you got to think that it's going to be some kind of, even though we already have a false count anywhere situation, probably something that at least doesn't have countouts.
This is what we could call gang warfare. We could just call this a gang warfare match. I mean,
you just call it like a London street fight, or
you
know what you do it. You have it start in the bar. Start in a bar, a pub across the street.
A Donnybrook match.
Yeah.
Donnybrook.
Well, unfortunately, I think WWE may have trademarked that.
Fuck those bastards.
I know, right? Like, just, a bar fight match, whatever.
Yeah,
you remember the APA Invitational? That one?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be something along those lines. They'll probably build a pub set or something like that to start out. And then it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like, it'll probably be a stadium stampede in all but name.
Yeah, basically.
With, instead of two big teams, a bunch of different trios teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really see. They've just strapped up Hanger and Brodito. I don't really see them losing. What I do see. What I want to happen is a big schmoz that goes all around. I mean, they've got a lot of room, a ton of room to work with. Wembley is a big stadium. Have it go in the crowd. Have it go everywhere that you can. Okay, because you can probably go there. Like the Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing. I guess New York had some really stringent rules about not going into crowds.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't do that. Whereas most Stadium Stampedes, they're up here, there, and everywhere. And I think that Wembley, you don't have that issue, so far as I can tell.
No.
Brawl everywhere. Have the finish take place in the ring so everybody can see it, sure. But I think, and that'll contrast with Darby's match because that's false count anywhere. If it's labeled false count anywhere, it shouldn't end in the ring.
No.
It defeats the purpose, in my opinion. You might as well just call it a street fight. But I think, I don't think that they should move the belts. And I don't think they will. I think Brodito, they probably wind up pinning the Demand again to get them out of there. And so that they can make way for other teams to step in as challengers down the line. So I'm picking Hanger and Brodito, and that lines up with my preferences. I don't know about you.
I mean, I don't see how you bring the New Day in and don't have them win this. So
because there are 10,000 other teams going into this.
That's what I want to happen, and that's what I think will happen. I think the New Day debuts, they take it away so that the good guys in Hanger and Brodito can chase the title. At least for a little bit, because everybody else is chasing it too. I prefer the trios division this way. I prefer it to be 15 fucking teams that are solid chasing that one title and constantly chasing it. Like, not a lot of little outside the title feuds. Like, I want everybody involved in the title feud, like always.
My rationale is that, like, they threw out the challenge. If the baby faces threw out the challenge, they should probably win unless there's a really good storyline reason not to. And I don't think that as much as they've heated up this thing, just because we'll see what they do this week. But I don't think one promo with Swerve that really had more to do with his, really got more heat with him in Demand than him in Hanger. I don't think that, I don't think so. I think that we'll work up to that.
We will see what happens, because by my count, it's like 7 or 8 teams right now. And
it's kind of nuts.
It could be even more. Like, what if the Demand comes out with the lethal twist and the lethal twist, like, we're going for it too. What do you fucking think this was?
Yeah.
And also, bam, here's my next prediction. I think that Lee Moriarty breaks with STP and joins the Hurt Syndicate.
Ooh.
And I think they're
like that.
I think they're also part of this match.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
Lee Moriarty's
I see
killer,
that happening.
All right.
I see that happening down the line. I don't see it happening in this match. I think that they'll probably give MVP the chance to wrestle at Wembley.
I would hope so, but
so I think that trio, the Hurt Syndicate trio, will be those three. But I do like the prospect of Lee Moriarty joining them later. I do like that very much.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I don't know, something about this last week.
What is the Hurt Syndicate missing? Somebody who hurts people by stretching them.
Yeah. They got the brute force. If they bring
they've got the brute force.
They've got everything.
But they don't have the submission. Like, I mean, you got a little bit of it with Shelton, but he hasn't been relying on it. No. Like, Lee Moriarty is a submission just prodigy.
Yeah.
He hurts people.
Yeah, he hurts people. Exactly.
He would fit. He would fit.
Yeah, he fits.
I like that idea a lot. Next match, Kazuchika Okada versus Kyle Fletcher versus Konosuke Takeshita for the International Championship.
Man.
It's tough to call this one, but I think Kyle Fletcher retains.
I think that's probably the booking decision.
That's the thing. That's the prediction.
Yeah.
What I want to happen, I want to see Takeshita win it back. I feel like they left a lot on the table by, taking the belt off him so he could go do the G1. Uh, I get why they did it, but they could easily move it back to him. I don't see them doing it, but I like them to, so that you can keep the Okada versus Fletcher versus Kevin Knight really situation going. Like Fletcher has heat with a lot of guys, a couple of different guys in his group now, because I think he sees himself as the leader, and nobody else ever really seems to think of him as the leader. Maybe Mark Davis, but
I don't know, man. What I want to happen is Takeshi to win this.
Yeah,
I want Takeshi to win this. I want Okada and Fletcher to have a huge blowout during this match, and that's what gives Takeshi the opportunity to win the match.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Fletcher will probably retain. But I am of the court of opinion that, fucking the faster the Don Callis family has a demise, the better.
It's running its course pretty quickly, and
they
were. I mean, you can see how huge they are and how bloated they've gotten by considering that nearly every match on Dynamite had a member involved somehow.
Yeah,
that's a 2.5-hour show with the overrun that they had this week, and they were literally in nearly every single 15-minute segment. That's a really, really huge stable of guys.
Yeah.
Next is Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT Championship. Kevin Knight defending against Darby Allin. I would honestly, I don't think Kevin Knight needs too much more clout at this point. He's beaten a couple of different world champions to retain his TNT title. He has the longest reign with the longest reign now, or almost the longest reign with the most defenses now. He's got to be considered best TNT champion. I don't see why you need him to hang on to it any longer.
No.
And honestly, Darby is as great as his world title run. He's really much more associated with the TNT title anyway. And in Falls Count Anywhere, I feel like these matches Darby shouldn't be winning this shouldn't be losing this type of match.
No.
I could see it going either way because they're giving Kevin big push.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's 60-40. I think Darby will win. And that is what I want to happen. I want some big like we talked about earlier. I want some big freaking stunt, some weird Darby Allin BS. I want, like you said, now that you've said it and put it into my brain, I want Sting and his kid to come out and even the odds. I think that would be super great. Great moment. And Kevin Knight can go on to do other things. He can go on to feud with Kyle.
Yeah.
He can be it can be a weird, power dynamic between him, Okada, and Fletcher in the Don Callis family. People taking sides, the whole deal. So, yeah, no, that's how I see it.
Pretty much the same for me, man. I think Darby's going to win it. I want Darby to win it. I want Sting and his kids to show up. I want complete chaos. Much in the same way I want it for the trios match. I want this to be complete chaos and all kinds of crazy Darby Allin shit because I love it. I love that shit. So that's what I want. And yeah, I think what's going to happen and what I want actually will align on this match.
Yeah. Divine Dominion versus the Brawling Birds for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. Possibly the easiest one to predict. The Brawling Birds definitely go here. And yeah, why not? All I ask is that you give them some time. Please give them some time. I know that, in England, they have those hard curfews on events, especially on Sundays. So this will be something that ends on time, or they're going to face heavy fines. But I really hope that they find the minutes to give this match. Uh, I really want them to show what they can do, because really all they've been showing them doing is squash matches.
Yeah.
The occasional match against like Sisters of Sin. So, I love them spooky bitches, but like it's not exactly like top tier tag team. They're not presented that way. So, that one's pretty cut and dry, I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the Birds. I want it to be the Birds.
I hope that with TK heating up the trios division, that they really look at the problems with their on the women's side of things, specifically the tag team division, and really start to work on putting some teams together, having them tag regularly, be in feuds that don't revolve around the belts to establish these teams with personal issues. I want more women on the show. I want there to be an actual tag team division. I was so excited. You remember we did a whole episode about the initial tourney that we booked. Yeah. We each booked a different tourney, and in our minds, we wanted those teams to stick around as teams, and not many of those teams that were in that initial tournament stuck around as teams.
Yeah.
Some were due to injury. Okay, whatevs. But like, I can't wait for Bailey to get signed. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Because that will at least play a good role in fixing this issue.
Yeah.
The Continental Challenge Cup final. We assume it's going to be Jon Moxley and Nigel McGuinness, yeah?
Yeah, I assume that.
I could see it going either way. I want Nigel to win, both for sentimental reasons and because it freshens things up.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't bet against Jon Moxley. You just don't do it. I think my prediction is Jon Moxley. Even though they're building it up as a big British moment, I think, Nigel's not full-time. It's just not. No. So I think it's a nice moment to give him the match, and that's going to have to suffice, because I honestly, as much as I would like to see it, and as much as a lot of fans, I'm guessing, would like to see it, I don't see Moxley dropping the belt. No. I can't. I wish it was different, because I would very much like him to lose that belt and move on to something. And what I want to happen. Okay. I'm going to save this for later. I'm going to put a pin in this one. Okay.
Okay.
What do you want? What do you think?
I'm split in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because LOL Moxley wins.
Yeah.
But also, what if Claudio beat him?
I think
Nigel wins, and I think Nigel wins if Claudio beats Mox.
I think you're right. If Claudio somehow wins against Mox, I don't think that you justify Claudio going over Nigel.
No, I don't think you do.
I think what probably happens then is Mox demands a rematch with Nigel and wins it back from him.
Maybe, or maybe he does something else.
I don't know. I feel like it would be easier for them to get behind Nigel knowing that there's a better chance of him beating Claudio than there is of him beating Mox.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the play. I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess we'll find out because
Yeah,
that
we're gonna
match, I
find out.
believe, is on Dynamite.
It
So,
is. It is. We will find out.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Casino Gauntlet Challenge, for a future AEW Men's World Championship match. Andrade El Idolo is number 1. MJF is number 2. I don't think either one of those guys is winning it.
No.
I think who probably wins is John Moxley.
LOL Moxley wins.
I know that's probably out of left field, but I could totally see him dropping the Continental title to, I mean, think about it too. It lines up with the story. He drops the Continental title to Nigel McGuinness, attacks somebody backstage in a rage for their spot in the Casino Gauntlet, enters, wins the thing, faces Ospreay. And then Ospreay finally gets his win back.
Mm-hmm.
It would even make sense in storyline. I think maybe they're gearing up to do that because it's not like they're going to have Mox do nothing.
Nope.
And a gauntlet, like, when does the announced first 2 guys ever actually win the thing?
Not very often.
Not terribly often. So, like, Andrade will brawl with MJF at some point, probably off, do their own thing and not be involved in the finish at all. And Mox will come in and steal it. I would like to see somebody else. Somebody other than my prediction. What I would like to see, honestly, I would like to see MJF win, if for no other reason than for Ospreay to beat him and once and for all get rid of that stupid Triple B as the one true champion. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. It's a retread of, the real world champion thing that CM Punk did a few years ago itself, which was kind of a retweak of the Ric Flair thing from 1991. Like, I don't care for it. I don't care for it. I don't.
Yeah.
I would, I want to see MJF crash out. This is a way to accelerate that. I want him to learn and grow and, become a better human being and character. Mm-hmm. The only way he does that is to lose everything. So, and lose any kind of excuse and to be forced to reckon with the reality of the situation. So, other than that, I would like to have Big Boom AJ come in and maybe, like, be the guy to come in, get kind of a spot, work a little bit with somebody who's, like, maybe lower on the card or whatever, and then ultimately be the guy that gets picked over by MJF. Because of course he would. He's just Big Boom AJ.
Yeah.
Of course MJF is going to pick on the weakest guy in the match, but who's still over, so he still gets heat for doing it. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. That's what I want.
I think this is also, so I think the call is Moxley wins. I think this is where Moxley wins. If he's not going to retain the Continental Championship, which there is a good chance of, I think this is what he wins. But I also think we might see Big Boom AJ. There's a very good chance we will see Ilya Dragunov in this match. And
possibly Stephen Farrelly.
Super excited. I fucking love Ilya Dragunov, dude. Like, I was really getting into him when he got injured, and then we stopped covering WWE, so I didn't get to cover his comeback or how badly they've treated him since. But Ilya is an AEW guy. Like, he's a work rate guy. He should be over here doing this over here. Because he's way better than WWE fucking deserves in that ring. Dude, like, he really is. And so I think we might see the debut of Ilya Dragunov here. I don't know what they'll call him. I can't remember what his indie name was before that. I think it might actually be the same thing. I think we might see S. Farrelly, which is Sheamus, which would be fucking awesome. I would love to see Sheamus in this match. there's probably a few other guys. We might see the Machine Guns here, if they don't do other things, which we'll talk about. Um, but yeah, there's tons of guys. Like they could bring out a ton of different guys. I would pop biggest, I think, though, if Nyla Rose entered this match.
Oh, that'd be great, right?
I would pop so hard. Like, if there's one thing I want more than anything is her to appear on this show.
I want her to appear on this show wearing Harry Potter stuff.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Wouldn't it?
Oh my god, it would be so funny. Oh my god, because if anybody could, it would be her. And make it work.
If anybody should, it should be her.
Yeah, but
because it would automatically be taken as mocking as opposed to support.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see her return to AEW and be part of this match in particular. If you and if anybody wants to argue that point with me, a woman has been the Intercontinental Champion, and a woman is currently the heavyweight champion at Triple L. So don't play with me, okay?
Yeah.
And her name is Abaddon, and she fights dudes. And I've watched her do it. It's fucking awesome.
They're not even elite. They're non-binary.
Well,
they don't even fall into any of your categories.
I think okay, so it's different now, but I'm sorry, I'm an older guy who came from an era where.
No, I'm saying that to bolster your argument, not to.
I mean, they are presented as a female wrestler, I guess. Because living dead girl.
Yeah, living dead girl. They fight mostly women.
Yeah.
They fight mostly for women's championships.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get you. I was trying to bolster your argument, not.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. I was like, oh, they're a they crap. I forgot. Sorry, that's my bad sometimes. But it's kind of like Speedball is actually a they, as far as I know, and Speedball, the character, is a guy.
Yeah.
So
the character,
he
yes,
competes in the he competes in the men's division. So, still a they, but in wrestling competes in a specific division. Now in Triple L, they don't really have those. It's like a free for all.
Yeah.
But Abaddon is the champion. So don't tell me it can't happen. China was a fucking Intercontinental Champion. Don't tell me that it wouldn't be appropriate for Nyla to be in this match. It would totally be appropriate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that should happen. I want that to happen. That's what I want. That more than anything out of this match. I would like to see Nyla Rose make an appearance, and this is the perfect place.
That'd be great.
This was the perfect place for her.
I just realized that I predicted both Moxley to go over in the Continental title and in this match.
LOL, Moxley wins.
But you know what? You know what? I'm not changing it. Why not? I'm gonna go with the bold prediction.
It's gonna be.
He's still the Continental Champion. I mean, Andrade's the National Champion. He's in this match.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, there's precedent.
Yeah. Andrade being the national champion.
It'll just be instead of him taking somebody's spot in anger that he lost the belt, it'll be, he's just in the thing.
Yeah.
Because he's John Moxley.
Yeah. I feel like working double duty,
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
I needed more violence after the violence.
Cage and Cope
versus
the Young Bucks for the World Tag Team title. This one's hard to call. I could really see it going either way. To me, this is probably the hardest match to call for a prediction. I know what I want to see. If it's gonna be a singles, a 2-on-2 match, just a regular tag match, I want to see the Young Bucks go over, and then have a whole bunch of people come out after the match, or what they could do, which would be interesting. Do you remember Royal Rumble? I want to say 1995. The main event was the Royal Rumble, but no, it wasn't 95. Yes, it was. Where Brett faced Diesel for his world title.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kept getting more and more interference throughout the whole thing. Like at one point, Owen Hart came in, and then the referee like shoot him away, even though he probably should have just disqualified Diesel straight out. And then Jeff Jarrett, for some reason, comes out and attacks Diesel, but he doesn't get disqualified. He just gets chased away. And then Jerry Lawler comes in to attack Brett. And then I don't know who else it was. It wasn't Razor. It was somebody else who comes in, and maybe the Roadie or something comes in to attack Diesel, Mabel, somebody. I don't know. But I could see something like that happening, where it's like FTR, who we know is going to be in the UK this week because they've taken independent bookings for this week.
Yes.
I could see them coming in and like, trying to create a schmaz situation and having them attack both guys, leave them laying either behind the referee's back or having both teams beg them not, once they've chased FTR away, beg them not to throw the match out and to keep going. Then the Motor City Machine Guns come out to do the same thing. Then the Rascals come out to do the same thing. And then eventually it either gets thrown out or somebody wins. And then that leads to a huge ladder match at All Out the next month between those 5 teams. I could see that or something like it. But as long as it's going to stay 2-on-2, I think probably the Young Bucks retain or win the belts. Afterwards, they shake hands. And I still think FTR comes out to attack afterwards. If for no other reason than I'm really holding on to that dream of that triple threat ladder match between those 3 teams to pay homage to TLC 2.
Yeah. I'm pretty much in line with that, except I think Cope and Cage are probably the call to retain.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Young Bucks will take it in the multi-man match.
Okay. I mean, that's probably the way to go if you're going to do it.
Yeah. If we're going to do it, keep the titles on the guy on the Legends and then let it play out at All Out. I mean, we've got enough shit going on here. Okay. This one can keep going later. Although not that I'm not interested in the match. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So
see, the only reason I think that they might move the belts here is because in a ladder match, they don't have to get pinned, which means that you're not really putting the other guys over in the best, most definitive way. Whereas if you move the belts here, they earned the veterans' respect because they pinned them.
I would argue that that's usually the case, but with Cope and Cage, maybe a ladder match is the best way to put somebody else over. I mean,
I you know what? I can see that argument. Given who it is.
Given who it is, yeah, right?
Given who it is.
So yeah, that I don't know. I think maybe Cope and Cage retain here. That's my prediction. What I want to happen is Cope and Cage to retain after lots of interference from not just FTR and Motor City Machine Guns, but pull a couple more tag teams out. Bring some guys over. Fucking do Japan if you have to. Do whatever. Bring more tag teams into this. I would also say the Rascals, but I think they're probably going to show up in the trios back.
Yeah, they haven't claimed for it yet. They haven't,
they haven't really claimed for anything. So we'll see.
But I mean, we have a week left, so anything could change.
Yeah, we're about to see what happens at the next 2 shows. I'm sure matches are going to be. I have 9 on my list right here. I bet there's going to be more. I mean.
Speaking of, Willow Nightingale defends the World Women's Championship against Mercedes Moné. We know TK's patterns, right?
Yep. We sure do.
Now would be a really good time to buck that pattern for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, just for the sake of not being predictable.
But I think Mercedes wins. If for no other reason, then I don't see it's kind of babyface heavy winning. At least it's I see how it playing out in terms of predictions. Some heels got to win, you know.
Who
And
there?
Mercedes Moné is, you know, probably the biggest star in the division. She has a little more outside clout, and you're paying her a ton of money. I don't see TK holding on to it with Willow here. Now that being said, I don't think Mercedes holds on to it for very long. I don't see her holding on to it for very long because Bayley's incoming. And I think that there's more value in teaming those two together to help the tag team division, which is in dire need of some support.
Yeah.
So I think Mercedes wins it here, but probably sometime before Bayley arrives, whenever that is. We know it's by the end of the year, but we don't know how close to December it actually is. I think she loses it sometime before Bayley gets here. Probably back to Willow. So I'm going to predict Monet to win. I think she still has time. She's still young. You can put the belt on her at any given time, really. Let Willow ride this out. Let her have this moment. I want Willow to have this moment, please.
Yeah.
God, she's earned it. Like I was saying earlier, like she carries herself with such poise and professionalism and just like ease. Like she just seems like this is the natural place for her. Let her ride it out. See where it takes
you. Mine's pretty much right in the line. I predict that Mercedes will win. I want Willow to win. I want Willow to win so bad, and I know it's going to be. I feel like I'm just barreling towards another one of these reviews of a Mercedes match where I go, man, this was fucking great until she won. Because that's how it makes me feel emotionally. I'm like, this match is fucking great. Oh hell yeah, it's awesome. Mercedes won again though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like just.
I feel you. I know you're not as big a fan of Mercedes as I am, so like even
I'm
though
just
I'll
a
be
bigger
disappointed,
fan of Willow.
Yeah, it's I Mercedes has pretty much done it all. Like Willow's just getting here, you know.
Yeah.
Like just let her ride it out a little while longer. Even if you have her drop it to Mercedes at All Out next month, that would be preferable.
Yeah, to this, yeah,
having her drop it here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. If Mercedes does win, if she's scheduled to win, I don't think, even if she is in the audience, I don't think they'll show Bayley. But if she's scheduled to lose, I think you show Bayley.
Yeah. I mean, if she's in the audience, I think you show Bayley, period.
Well, I'm just saying that
just
if it's just if it's to lead into something, I would rather it be a tag team. If Mercedes is going to win, then you let her have her moment by herself. But if you have her lose and you show Bayley reacting to it in the audience, that can be the impetus for, I came here so we could do, so I could help you become a champion like we were elsewhere. I want to continue that. If she's scheduled to win and you show her, you can show her celebrating or whatever, but then she's going to come in eventually and be like, what do you do with that? Like the obvious answer would be to pit them against each other, but I don't think you blow that immediately. I think you save that for later. You have them go on the tag run first.
Yeah.
Because that division sorely needs help.
Yeah.
All right, main event time. What we presume to be will be the main event because
Oh,
it's featuring an Englishman. Uh, Will Ospreay takes on Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship, and I don't think this is a hot take. We've been saying it all months long. Yeah, it's Will Ospreay. He's
yeah.
going over. Do I want him to go over? Now I'm not so sure. Like, I was fully behind it until this week. And Kenny just Will made he did himself no favors in that promo where he just came off like a whining prick. Like I said, Kenny leveled him with that one line. COVID was hard for everybody, dude. Get over it. Like, pretty much summed it up. So, I mean, Kenny crossed the line talking about Ospreay's son. So, it hits me a little personally. I have kids too. I get it. But Kenny's doing such great work right now. And I don't know if he loses the belt, does he just disappear and that's the last we see of him? I kind of want this to keep going. Like, I don't know. I feel like my prediction is Will Ospreay. I'm not as high on that prospect anymore. And I think if I were British, I would have a different opinion.
Probably. I predict Ospreay. I want it to be Ospreay. I think that if we get the world title off Kenny, then he can spend his last year likely just wrestling a bunch of people that he just wants to wrestle and putting on a bunch of banger ass matches.
Bryan Danielson treatment.
Yeah, basically. No title to worry about, no bullshit. Just I can go out there, I can wrestle whoever I fucking want this, and wrestle somebody twice a week, every fucking week until you're done. And then, I mean, fuck, by that point, he could have wrestled everyone and put on a banger with everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who are we? Yeah, would I mind him being champion for much longer? No, not at all. Do I think that we're totally going for the history play here? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think Ospreay's going to win, and that's actually what I want. I want Will Ospreay to win. I like bad guy Kenny Omega.
Yeah. I don't see any use for him after he loses, though. That's the problem.
I mean, but also, yeah, I don't think he needs to be bad after this at all. I think he just needs to be bad to Will Ospreay, and I think he's going to be bad to him through the next two shows.
I think the match that he had this week showed that he was a full-on babyface in that trios match with the Young Bucks against the Don Callis family. Full-on babyface. It's just against Will that he has this big old chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
That's the card that we know about.
I anticipate probably a women's gauntlet, and if I had, they'll probably put it on the pre-show. It'll probably be the whole pre-show.
See,
which is good because that means you can put more women into it and get them some. I mean, if that's the case, I expect Tekla to show up and win it.
Yeah.
However, she's been gone. She deserves to be on this show.
Yeah.
Absolutely deserves to be on the show. It's kind of criminal that they haven't promoted her being on the show in some capacity.
Yeah.
At all. And when she carried a very, very needy division from when did she win the belt? From February or so all the way up until last month.
Yeah.
Like, she was the linchpin of this division for like 5 months.
Yeah.
She deserves to be on this big show. I imagine if they do that, then she probably wins it because of that.
I think she brings her Stardom feud into the show, and we either get her versus Starlight Kid or her versus Kairi debuting in AEW. Would be
great.
I also could see 3 people from Stardom, including Kairi, coming over and facing just the Sisters of Sin, all the Triangle of Madness.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever,
for their trios belts.
for their
Yeah.
trios belts. Yeah, I think Maya may have a match here. Maya might actually have an open challenge and lose to Tekla.
I could see that happening.
So I mean, I think there
Maya
might be
has
a
been
couple.
You're right. Maya has been pushed pretty hard, and she doesn't have anything on her
Anything on
dance
this show
card,
yet? Yeah,
which is, I mean, that seems like a big oversight in and of itself. You're
yes,
right.
it
Now
does.
that I think about it,
Yes, it does. So yeah,
Athena has nothing to do.
Athena. Yeah, she might be Athena and
Like,
Maya would be a banger. There we go.
yeah,
Maybe Athena versus Maya for the ROH Women's Championship,
yeah,
and
maybe,
maybe Maya wins, and maybe that brings Athena full time to the AEW Women's roster, which we always want to happen.
yeah,
If we are long, like there is a lot of things that are overdue in AEW. Athena being part of the main roster is the farthest overdue of any of them.
yes, you are
So,
correct.
like, followed very closely by Nyla Rose being back on fucking TV. All right. So, like, both of those things are far overdue, and I need them both to happen at this show, preferably. As far as other things, I mean, of course, we talked about the New Day, Machine Guns probably being there, FTR probably making their return. Maybe seeing Ilya, maybe seeing Sheamus. I'm trying
Big
to
Boom
think of.
AJ.
We have might see Big Boom AJ. I'm trying to think of other like surprises we might get. Maybe. I mean,
I bet you they put Tommy Billington in the gauntlet.
yeah, I bet he's in there somewhere. Um, we might see Michael Oku appearance, in the gauntlet as
Yeah.
well.
Is he with AEW or not? I
No,
don't
he's
know.
he's the Rev Pro like heavyweight champ or whatever. Rev Pro World Champ. So I think that's what he's doing.
Because I remember them talking about him, like the AEW making a play for him like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When they were back at Wembley the first time.
I'm trying to think of who else, but I mean, maybe some returns. I would love to see at some point later in the show, Kofi Kingston run into Big Show because that's the guy who supposedly collapsed his chest. At least that's the kayfabe of it. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's the kayfabe of it. And a couple of other things, but really, I think most of the ones that I would like to see that I think will happen have been covered. Kyrie's kind of the big question. She's with an agent that works with AEW now. She's a free agent. She definitely still wants to wrestle, and she's got the Stardom connection that makes it all make sense.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that happens. I'd really like to see Starlight Kid also, though, and maybe you could bring back bring back Kazuki to round out the three, and have them. But I don't want them to win those championships, but I also don't want Kyrie to take an L if it's going to be her AEW debut. So
yeah.
But I definitely want her in AEW, mostly for selfish reasons, but also because she's awesome. She's got a hell of a work rate. She came from Stardom and went to WWE. Obviously, American fans have not seen her rate of work.
Right.
Okay. But people are like, oh, Io Sky is one of the best women's wrestlers on the planet. That's true. But Kyrie is just as good. And we never got to see that level we saw a little bit of it in NXT, but not on the WWE main roster.
Right.
But she would be a huge bonus to the AEW women's division, which is very much in need right now. My biggest prediction, though, okay, and I'm going to say this now, and I've been woe to conjecturize this at all, okay, because I do not know what has happened, okay. But unless Toni Storm is pregnant, she shows up back here at this show.
If she does, she's winning the gauntlet. Not Tekla.
If there is one.
If there is one.
I'm still not convinced there is one. I like the idea, but I'm not convinced.
Oof.
But I think
they said she was gone for the rest of the year. I still have no update on what's going on.
No update, which I'm sorry, guys. I don't like I said, I don't like to conjecturize, but there's only a couple things that keep you out this long. Okay.
Yeah.
One of them is a career-ending injury. Okay. The
Yeah.
other one is a pregnancy followed by maternity leave, which Tony Khan is well known to give tons of, as much time as you want.
Yeah.
He's very supportive of new families in wrestling. If you want any proof of that, please go ask Ruby Soho, who I believe may also show up at this show because she has been cleared to wrestle and has made it very clear that she wants to come back. Be a great place for her to come back, is at this show. So I think she might show up too. That was the other one I was trying to think of, that I was like, I know somebody had said and was cleared recently. Ruby Soho has definitely been talking about wanting to come back. So we may see her again. And please, dear God, the women's division needs as much bolstering as it can get right now. Please give me Ruby Soho. Give me back Tony Storm. But yes, I'm not conjecturizing. I don't know if that's the case, but as long as it's been, you can start to kind of rule some things out, like like this isn't just a normal, like if it was just plus also, come on, if it was a knee, an ankle, a shoulder or something like that, AEW's been very open about stuff like that. Like it has to be something that she just wants kept private. And as weirdly as wrestling fans have treated her in the past, I 100 fucking percent understand. But this is a different, like we can all feel it. We all know the way they're treating it. It's different than if it was just like a knee surgery that needed to happen or something like that. Like this is different. And I'm not saying this is a negative at all. If that's the case and she's going to be gone the rest of the year and a lot of next year because of a family thing, more power. You'd go do that. You go do that.
Yeah.
We'll be here when you get back.
I'll tell you what though, I miss her every single day.
Every day, and this would be a great place for her to come back.
Every single day.
That might be.
She is my current favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
She just, oh my God, I miss her so much. I saw a video of some YouTube content creator who was just getting into AEW, a former WWE fan. And she found it was one of those videos where they watch a different YouTube video and comment along with it. And it was about Tony. And she's like, oh, is she still wrestling? I'm like, oh, you poor thing. You're coming in the exact wrong time. Yeah. And it made me so sad because I miss her so much. I miss her so much. I really feel like she could, because of her over-the-top character, and especially considering the very, very left-wing lean that the AEW crowd tends to have, and a very loud and vibrant queer base that it has. People coming in blind to wrestling, she's one of those characters that could make it click for them. Yeah. So I just, I miss her so much.
This might be my most wishful thinking prediction. Even with the other, the XWD guys that might be coming and all this other stuff that I could say, Starlight Kid or Kyrie or whatever, all that, a lot of those make sense, especially with some of those people's location in the world at this specific week. But Tony, that's a complete unknown. That's me taking a shot in the dark. Maybe if she is coming back before the end of the year, this is where it happens. And it would make sense for it to be here. And the women's division needs it. God knows. So cool. I would love it to be now. If not, God, if even a quarter or a third of the predictions that I've made of new entrances and surprises happen, and I know that there's going to be at least one or two others that do happen on this show that I couldn't have possibly fucking predicted. That I'm not thinking of right now. I'm coming up with other names, like Buddy Matthews might make a return. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But where? I don't know. Gauntlet probably, but still, there's 1,000 other things that could happen, and I'm sure Tony has a couple in mind that they're not even in the back of my mind.
I mean, they might have another appearance of Grado.
Yeah, maybe.
He was on the first one. I think he was on the second one too.
Yeah,
maybe the pre-show, but
we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. I'm really excited for All In, and we still have 4 hours of television between us and All In.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna. Yeah, this is weird for us to go into our go home show into the pay-per-view, not having seen the go home shows yet.
right.
It's still getting used to. It is better for us, honestly, on our personal lives to just sit back and watch the pay-per-view on a Sunday and then cover it the next day, even if it does throw off our schedule of recording and releasing the show a little bit. And I think the people who listen to this show probably appreciate that too. I know probably. I know what we had been doing was fun for us because we got to watch the show together, but I don't think it was probably as much fun for our listeners because then they had to go back and watch the show again if they didn't feel like it, just to get our thoughts on it. And we're not the director, so having like a back-asswards director's cut version was probably annoying to certain people.
Yeah, probably.
No.
But yeah, I like it this way better, but I mean, I'd still like to watch pay-per-views with my homie, but I do like being able to like sleep on it and then give a reaction, because sometimes my raw reaction was very like, fuck that, when then I go back and look at the match a second time, I'm like, the legs were really fucking good. So I like being able to sleep on it a little bit, but it also helps with timing and all that stuff. I prefer the delay, just because we get to, watch and then think about it.
But this is going to be the last Sunday pay-per-view of the year, I think. I think the rest of them going forward are Saturday pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think so, which gives us, time to just record as normal. So,
yeah.
A little bit of housekeeping before we take off from the show. The week of September 15th, 14th, September 14th, that week, we will not be having a show that week. I will be in Chicago at the biggest concert on the planet. I will be enjoying myself. I don't think there's a pay-per-view that weekend. I hope not. Please, dear God, don't. No. I think All Out's like All Out's like the next week in Chicago, I think, or something like
All
that.
Out is September 26th.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a week later or a couple weeks later. So we will be here for All Out. Don't worry about that. Yeah. But yeah, that week I'll be gone that week, so we won't be doing anything that week. Adam will get a nice mid-season break. We'll just take a mid-season break right there, and be back for All Out. But other than that, I'd like to thank Garrett Deming for our theme music, Weirwood for our background music, our sponsors and partners, Team Disaster Plan, and Prognostic Pedals. I'd like to thank Reaper for the software to run the show, and it seems to be getting progressively shitty. So I encourage everybody to
they arrested Spider-Man yesterday.
Yeah, fuck that. Free Peter Parker. But but I will say this. Please take the time that you get every week, these 4 hours of wrestling that we watch every week, and really try to, put everything else aside for just that time. If you can do that, please try to give yourself as much enjoyment as possible. Peace and power through enjoyment. Do not let them take our joy away, because all we have after that is conflict. That being said, I'm not a stranger to conflict, so fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
We love y'all. Peace out.
Peace.